Chapter 175. After the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army entered the Hua continent, they were in a state of disunity. It was just that the Hua continent's cultivators were not able to organize an effective counterattack. Now that Ning Cheng and Man Rang organized a counterattack, it immediately formed a snowball effect. Other than letting Yang Honghua fire a few cannons at the beginning, Ning Cheng did not use the spirit stone cannons at all. With this kind of advantage, there was simply no need to use the spirit stone cannons, as each time they would be able to kill a small number of cultivators and monstrous beasts from the Yixing Ocean. While the cultivators from the Yixing Ocean were constantly being exterminated, the number of cultivators from the Hua continent's cultivator army was constantly increasing. Compared to the Yixing Ocean's cultivators who were scattered like sand, after Man Rang annihilated the Yixing Ocean's cultivators, he immediately organized the Hua continent's cultivators to re-establish a base, and then gathered the scattered people in all directions. In just a short span of 4 days, Ning Cheng and Man Rang had already collected nearly 1/5 of the territories. On the 5th day, Ning Cheng and Man Rang's Hua continent's cultivator army had already gathered nearly 100,000 people, when they finally met their biggest resistance. The Moze city was the location of the Falling Star 5-Star Academy, and was also the territory of the Shui clan, and was also one of the largest cultivation cities in the Hua continent. However, this place had now become the lair of the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army, with tens of thousands of Yixing Ocean's cultivators gathered here. The Yixing Ocean's cultivators did not immediately destroy this place. It was estimated that they wanted to create a city for them to live in. When Ning Cheng saw that there were 7 profound core cultivators, there were also dozens of profound congealing cultivators, and even more essence-building cultivators, in addition to the 50 to 60,000 Yixing Ocean's cultivator army, he knew that if he could completely kill all the Hua continent's Yixing Ocean's cultivators, then he would have to fight in the Moze city. If this battle was not fought well, then even the Hua continent's cultivator army would be completely annihilated. Although Ning Cheng and Man Rang had gathered the Hua continent's cultivator army, they only had 3 profound core cultivators, Man Rang and the rogue cultivator Qi Xiuya, as well as the Clear Sky 5-Star Academy's Jing Ji. As for the profound congealing cultivators, they only had a dozen or so people. In addition to the fact that the number of cultivators in the army was much higher than that of the Yixing Ocean's cultivators, their overall strength was definitely not as good as that of the Yixing Ocean's cultivators. Junior Commander Ning, do you think we can take down the Moze city? Jing Ji was very polite to Ning Cheng, not because Ning Cheng was a 5-star junior commander, but because Ning Cheng's strength along the way had already won his respect. Man Rang and the other profound core rogue cultivator, Qi Xiuya, were also looking at Ning Cheng expectantly. With Ning Cheng joining them, it would be incomparably easy for them. The main reason, in addition to Ning Cheng's spirit stone cannon, was because of Ning Cheng's formidable group-killing axe intent. Although there were many profound core cultivators from the Hua continent from the Yixing Ocean, but they did not have a black-silver warship or a spirit stone cannon like Ning Cheng. Therefore, Ning Cheng's black-silver warship, along with the spirit stone cannon on the warship, became the only long-range attack weapon on the battlefield. Ning Cheng had not thought that the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army in the Moze city would have such a great strength. With this kind of strength, if they wanted to destroy the entire Hua continent, it would indeed be effortless. Ning Cheng thought for a while and then said, the Moze city's Yixing Ocean's cultivator army is definitely much stronger than us. The reason why they have not come out until now, is because they are still not clear about our strength. Or rather, they are scattered like sand, each fighting their own battles, and do not even have the most basic means of intelligence gathering. Plus we have been sweeping them all the way here, so by the time they get the news that we have arrived, we would have already arrived outside the Moze city. More importantly, they certainly do not know that we have a spirit stone cannon. If they knew that we have a spirit stone cannon, they would definitely come out immediately, rather than taking advantage of the Moze city's geographical advantage. The 3 profound core cultivators and some of the profound congealing cultivators were also deeply convinced. The Moze city's Yixing Ocean's cultivators had not yet figured out the strength of their side. Once they figured out the real situation of the Hua continent's cultivator army, especially when they knew that Ning Cheng had a spirit stone cannon, then they would definitely rush out with a thunderous imposing manner. Although the Hua continent's side had a lot of people, but their profound core cultivators were far inferior to the opposite side. In this kind of war between the cultivator armies, the number of people was not the main factor of strength, but rather a high cultivation level was the main determinant of strength. My idea is, as long as we kill the other party's profound core cultivator, we can then surround the Moze city, and use the spirit stone cannon to wipe out the Moze city's Yixing Ocean's cultivators in one fell swoop. Ning Cheng was not bragging. He would arrange layers upon layers of defensive array formations to protect the black-silver warship, as long as there were no profound core cultivators. For those profound congealing cultivators to break through his level 3 array formation, they would need at least some time. At this time, his spirit stone cannon would be able to fully display its might. Man Rang gave a wry smile and spoke, "We only have 3 profound core cultivators, while the other party has 7 people. More than double our numbers. How are we going to kill them? Currently they do not know our strength, but once they know, they will immediately rush out. It is them who will kill us, not us who will kill them." Ning Cheng suddenly spoke up, "I am thinking of this. Dean Man and I will work together to deal with one of the profound core cultivators. Jing Ji and Qi Xiuya, the 2 of you will each deal with 3 of them. After we kill the profound core cultivator, we will then come and help." As Ning Cheng finished speaking, Jing Ji and Qi Xiuya's complexion turned ugly. Letting each of them deal with 3 profound core cultivators, it would simply be suicide. They would not even be able to last for more than a dozen breaths. Man Rang immediately spoke up, "This is absolutely not possible." Ning Cheng waved his hand to stop Man Rang's words. "I think the 3 of you might have misunderstood my meaning. I intend to arrange a hidden serial killing array. The 4 of us will be inside the array formation. Jing Ji and Qi Xiuya will use the array formation to contain the remaining 6 people, while Man Rang and I will take the opportunity to kill them one by one. Of course, the premise is that the other party does not have an array formation master that far surpasses me. If the other party has a top-level array formation master, then my method may not necessarily work." "You are also an array formation master?" Man Rang asked in amazement. "I can only arrange a level 3 array formation," Ning Cheng honestly replied. Man Rang, on hearing Ning Cheng say that he was only a level 3 array formation master, spoke up with some disappointment. "A level 3 array formation can indeed block a profound core cultivator who does not understand array formations for a few breaths of time, but if you want to use this array formation to kill 7 profound core cultivators, it is simply not realistic." Jing Ji and Qi Xiuya also shook their heads, indicating that Ning Cheng's idea was unrealistic. Ning Cheng showed a faint smile and said, "My array formation is different from the others. My array formation is something that even an ordinary array formation master would not necessarily be able to understand. Of course the other party is an array formation master, and would certainly be able to find the array heart very quickly. But my array formation is also different from the others. That is, my array formation can be arranged in a cycle, which is the hidden serial killing array that I mentioned a moment ago." Ning Cheng had only learnt the basics of array formations from An, but after he was enlightened about the mysterious yellow origin, and was able to comprehend the mysterious yellow formless, his array formations and the inherited array formations were already completely different. Because of this, the killing intent restriction of the ancient immortal mansion in the Angry Axe Valley was completely useless against him. But the thoughts of the other people were different. Ning Cheng believed that as long as the 7 profound core cultivators could enter his hidden serial killing array, then his plan would be half successful. Although the array formation that he had arranged was a level 3 killing array, but it was able to integrate the killing intent restriction of the ancient immortal mansion in the Angry Axe Valley. Even if it was a profound core cultivator, within a dozen breaths of time, it would be very difficult to break it. Whether his method would be successful or not, mainly depended on the first dozen breaths of time. He and Man Rang would be able to kill a few profound core cultivators. If even one of them could not be killed, then he would still fail. His array formation circulation was only a level 3 circulation array. If the 7 profound core cultivators joined forces, then the level 3 circulation array formation would soon be broken. If they could kill one of them, then they would be able to entangle the other one, which would extend the time needed to break the array formation. For Ning Cheng, in the first dozen breaths of time, the more profound core cultivators he and Man Rang killed, the higher the success rate would be. What he was worried about was that these profound core cultivators had top-level array formation masters. If they did not enter his hidden serial killing array, then even if he had more methods, it would be useless. Hearing Ning Cheng's explanation, Man Rang and the other two people were silent. Even if what Ning Cheng said was the truth, but it was only a level 3 array formation. The deterrence of a level 3 array formation to a profound core cultivator was simply too insignificant. It could even be said that it was almost non-existent. Ning Cheng, seeing the three people remain silent, once again spoke up, "After this war, I will leave the Hua continent. The reason why I acted was entirely because I was angry at the actions of these Yixing Ocean's cultivators. If the three of you do not agree with my method, then I will also understand. Then I think that we do not need to continue to besiege the city here. Besieging the city does not have any meaning." Qi Xiuya was the first to speak up. "I agree, my opportunity is in the Hua continent, now that the Hua continent is being ravaged like this, so what if I give my life to the Hua continent? Even if countless of the Hua continent's cultivators and soldiers fall, Qi Xiuya will not die." Hearing Qi Xiuya agree with Ning Cheng's opinion, Man Rang also spoke up in a solemn voice, "Junior Commander Ning, Moze City is my route. I have always lived in this Moze City, but now that those beasts from the Yixing Ocean have occupied this Moze City, it would be meaningless for me, Man Rang, to continue to live. If I die, then I die. Why would I care about my little life?" Jing Ji laughed. "I, Jing Ji, am not a person who is afraid of death. Junior Commander Ning, if you are able to escape in the future, remember to burn a few pieces of paper for this Jing Ji." Ning Cheng gave a smile and said, "I cherish my life very much. How can I casually talk about dying? You can rest assured, there are two main points to my plan. First, it is necessary to let the Yixing Ocean's profound core cultivators enter my hidden serial killing array. If they do not come in, then my plan will fail. Second, and also the most important point, is that we have to kill a profound core cultivator in the first 10 breaths, otherwise there is a possibility that this plan will fail. Killing a profound core cultivator in 10 breaths, I'm afraid that it would be a bit difficult." Man Rang and Ning Cheng had joined hands to kill a profound core cultivator, but that profound core cultivator had already been fighting with him for a long time. Moreover, that person had also underestimated Ning Cheng, which was why the two of them were able to successfully attack him. Jing Ji also spoke up, "Junior Commander Ning, regardless of whether your plan is successful or not, wouldn't it be very difficult to stimulate those profound core cultivators to come out? If they come out, and not all of them enter the array, wouldn't that mean that the plan would fail?" Ning Cheng spoke with confidence, "You do not have to worry about these things. In the hidden serial killing array, me and Dean Man can join hands. Killing a profound core cultivator in 10 breaths would not be difficult. As for letting those profound core cultivators come out, it would be even simpler. If they did not enter the array together, then our cultivator army would suffer a lot of losses, but it would not fail." Chapter 176. They actually have spirit stone cannons. The several profound core cultivators from the Yixing Ocean immediately knew that something was wrong. The strength of the opposite party was definitely not as good as them. If the strength of the opposite party was stronger than them, then it was absolutely impossible for them to wait until now to shoot out the spirit stone cannon. Ning Cheng was afraid of the Moze City's Yixing Ocean's cultivator army, but the Yixing Ocean's cultivators were similarly afraid of the Hua continent's cultivator army. As long as they could pin down the profound core cultivator, then even if the rest of the cultivator army was many, they could still kill them all. Once a profound core cultivator rushed into the midst of the Hua continent's cultivator army, then the casualties would definitely be disastrous. Both sides had their own plans, and the first day passed just like that. The Moze City's Yixing Ocean's cultivator army had tried to attack them a few times, but Man Rang did not take the initiative to meet them, and only surrounded them. Neither did he leave, nor did he attack. After the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army probed a few times, they did not choose to attack, but instead once again retreated. My array formation has been completely arranged. In addition to a few probing attacks from the Moze city in the past 2 days, the rest of the time they have been biding their time. This means that they are also on the move. We don't know what they have been doing these past few days, and we don't need to know. As for what the Yixing Ocean's cultivators in the Moze city wanted to do, it was not important. In any case, he did not intend to rush into the Moze city to engage in a melee. For the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army to occupy the Hua continent, it was not without paying a price. When they had just invaded the Hua continent, the two sides had fought a war. Ning Cheng's speed in arranging array formations was already incomparably fast, as such he could arrange several array formations within the time it takes for half an incense stick to burn. Moreover, after continuously arranging array formations for several days, even Ning Cheng himself could not remember how many array formations he had arranged in the end. Ning Cheng was sure that since he started learning about array formations, the number of array flags that he had refined in the past few days was not as many as the number of array flags that he had refined in the past few days. Ning Cheng pointed to the black-silver warship behind him and said, "Bringing them here is the easiest thing to do. We will let the black-silver warship crazily bombard the Moze city. With the power of the black-silver warship, if they didn't come out, they would really be courting death. After I placed the black-silver warship into the concealed serial killing array, those profound core cultivators would definitely be the first ones to come and destroy the black-silver warship, as such they would naturally enter the array." Although this would reduce the pressure on Ning Cheng, but Ning Cheng also knew that the losses of the Hua continent's cultivator army would be even greater. Once those two profound core cultivators rushed into the midst of the Hua continent's cultivator army, then no one would be their opponent. Although he had arranged an array formation, but how long could this array formation block a profound core cultivator? It would only take a few minutes at most. Good idea. Qi Shilya gave a smile. Ning Cheng's method was just too damaging. No wonder he had arranged layer after layer of defensive array formations in front of the black-silver warship. He had initially thought that Ning Cheng wanted to ensure the safety and power of the black-silver warship, but it turned out that it was to attract a profound core cultivator. On the 5th day, Ning Cheng finally stopped. It seems like they're about to set out as well. Man Rang saw countless Yixing Ocean's cultivators rushing up to the top of the city walls, and even saw several of the city gates opening wide. Boom! The walls of the Moze city, under these spirit stone cannons, were just like paper, and immediately burst apart. Hundreds of Yixing Ocean's cultivators were directly turned into nothingness by the white light of the spirit stone cannon, while even more cultivators were severely injured by the shockwaves of the spirit stone cannon. Shidu, I can see that the Hua continent only has 3 profound core cultivators. Their strength should be far worse than our side. A thin profound core cultivator at the top of the city wall, after observing for a while, spoke to the other red-faced cultivator. The Hua continent's cultivator army was densely packed. There were at least 100,000 of them, but they only saw 3 profound core cultivators. Only 3 profound core cultivators dared to besiege the city. This made the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army very puzzled, but of course they would be afraid. In fact, the words spoken by the red-faced cultivator were something that most of the people agreed with. Even if the Hua continent's cultivator army was not as good as them, it did not matter if they started a few days later. Man Rang and the other 2 people saw the speed at which Ning Cheng was refining the array flags, and finally believed that Ning Cheng was able to arrange a chain-linked killing array. In order to cooperate with Ning Cheng, they would not let the profound core cultivators in the Moze city doubt them. Man Rang and the other 2 people constantly mobilized the cultivator army to arrange the array formations. Defensive array formations, killing array formations, entrapment arrays, concealment arrays. Yang Honghua, you specifically aim at the 2 profound core cultivators who are not rushing towards us with the cannons. Ning Cheng saw that the other side's 7 profound core cultivators were divided into 2 groups, and only 5 of them were rushing towards them. He immediately made Yang Honghua change the target of his attack. The words of the red-faced profound core cultivator had just finished, when they were once again bombarded by the cannons. Looking at the hundreds of Yixing Ocean's cultivators under the bombardment of the spirit stone cannons without any ability to resist, the red-faced profound core cultivator's face turned even darker. He was the first to rush out, followed by the other 4 profound core cultivators. The remaining 2 profound core cultivators did not rush out together like Ning Cheng had guessed, but rather split up the Yixing Ocean's cultivators to attack. For the remaining 2 days, both sides spent their time probing each other. But in these few days, Ning Cheng was constantly refining the array flags and arranging the array formations. The Yixing Ocean, in addition to a few probing attacks, was also incomparably quiet. A dazzling white light fell like a meteor onto the top of the Moze city's walls, as a powerful spiritual source concentrated in one place before exploding. I understand, these Yixing Ocean's cultivators have been refining their flight-type magical weapons for the past few days. They are preparing to retreat. Once they are not a match for us, then they would immediately leave this place. Ning Cheng suddenly spoke. Then how do we attract those profound core cultivators? Jing Ji was most worried about this problem. Do we start now? Jing Ji asked, although he was a profound core cultivator, but at this moment he was even more nervous than Ning Cheng. But if they wanted to use this kind of low-leveled flight-type magical weapon to escape, then they really underestimated Ning Cheng's IQ. He had continuously arranged array formations for 5 days, how could he not arrange a forbidden space restriction? Although other rank 3 array formation masters could not arrange a forbidden space restriction, but it did not mean that he could not arrange one. Although he could not arrange a high-leveled forbidden space restriction, but these low-leveled forbidden space restrictions, he could still arrange them. Seeing that Ning Cheng did not continue to arrange the array formations, several profound core cultivators, and even some profound congealing cultivators surrounded him, and inquired about Ning Cheng's progress. Ning Cheng knew that these Yixing Ocean's cultivators wanted to retreat. It was not because of what Man Rang said, but because they knew that this battle would not last for a long time, even if they were to retreat in the end. Now that they had obtained the things they wanted, and had completed their task, why would they still be willing to fight? They had already achieved their goal in the Hua continent, and had already planned to leave. As such, there was no need for them to fight to the death with the Hua continent's cultivator army. Wouldn't it be better to wait for everything to be prepared, and then fight again? Man Rang spoke with disdain. These Yixing Ocean's cultivators, although they can fight with the wind, but once they encounter a little setback, they immediately want to return to the Yixing Ocean, and even refine their flight-type magical weapons. At that time, the war had taken place at the edge of the Hua continent's Yixing Ocean. The Yixing Ocean had invested nearly 200,000 cultivator soldiers, along with more than 20 profound core cultivators. In that war, they had lost 11 profound core cultivators, and nearly 100,000 cultivator soldiers, before they were able to repel the Hua continent's cultivator army. If not for the Hua continent having fewer profound core cultivators, the outcome of that war would have been very difficult to predict. A red-faced late-stage profound core cultivator immediately shouted, "Everyone disperse and leave the Moze city to attack. A few profound core cultivators will come with me to destroy the enemy's spirit stone cannon. They only have a single spirit stone cannon. As long as we destroy their spirit stone cannon, we can definitely kill all the Hua continent's cultivators here. Yang Honghua, start firing the spirit stone cannon, aim it at the places where the Yixing Ocean's cultivators are densely packed." Ning Cheng immediately gave the order to Yang Honghua to fire the cannon. Besides, we do not need to fight with them at this moment. As long as everything is ready, we can immediately retreat. If in the process of retreating, we discover that they are indeed bluffing, then we can just casually kill them. It would only delay us for a few days. The red-faced cultivator replied. Jing Ji also exclaimed, "In just a few days, they have already refined so many flight-type magical weapons, they definitely have a lot of powerful artifact crafting masters." Yang Honghua, who had been waiting for a long time, almost at the same time as Ning Cheng gave the order, immediately shot out the cannon. A variety of array formations superimposed on each other, and in the end, the few piles of artifact crafting materials provided by Man Rang were all refined into array flags by Ning Cheng. Before, he had regretted that there were too few spirit stone cannons, but now it seems that only one of them would work. Ning Cheng nodded, and took out 3 array flags and handed them to Man Rang, Jing Ji and Qi Xiuya. These are the killing array flags that I have refined. When the time comes, the array flags will indicate the correct position. Jing Ji and Qi Xiuya, according to the correct position, can contain the remaining 6 people. Me and Man Rang will first kill one of them in the shortest possible time, and then break them down one by one. With 7 profound core cultivators entering the killing array, Ning Cheng had to consider the maximum number of people. If there were fewer people entering the killing array, then his killing array would be able to persist for a longer time. As for the outside of the killing array, Ning Cheng had already prepared a lot of defensive array formations. He absolutely would not allow the opposite party to attack from both inside and outside. The only thing that he could not take into account was that, once the profound core cultivators did not enter the killing array, then the losses of the Hua Continent's cultivator army would be very large. The Hua Continent's cultivator army had the spirit stone cannons, as such continuing to defend the Moze city would be meaningless. The Hua Continent's cultivators are very crafty. If there were only 3 profound core cultivators, would they dare to besiege the city? Did you notice that there was a place where they had arranged a shielding array formation? My spiritual consciousness is not able to sweep in. Perhaps it is some kind of trick. Chapter 177. Although Ning Cheng was anxious in his heart, but there was no other way. If he did not kill the 5 profound core cultivators inside the killing array, then there was simply no way for him to support the people outside. Although the array formations arranged by Ning Cheng were not very advanced, his concealment array formations were definitely on the same level. If this red-faced cultivator settled down, then he might be able to discover the concealment array formation arranged by Ning Cheng. However, he only wanted to destroy the spirit stone cannon, so how could he have thought that Ning Cheng had arranged a hidden serial killing array? After the red-faced profound core cultivator hit the heart of the array formation, he immediately realized that he had been fooled. This was not a simple rank 3 array formation, but rather a rank 3 revolving array formation. He immediately roared out, "Don't worry about the array core. This kind of low-level array, no matter where you attack it, it will directly break the array." This red-robed profound core cultivator's morale trembled, as he brought out his magical weapon to attack Ning Cheng's side. For a late-stage profound core cultivator to attack Ning Cheng, even if Ning Cheng had a serial killing array, he would not dare to fight against him. While Ning Cheng was directing Jing Ji and Qi Xiuya to pin down the red-faced profound core cultivator, he once again took the initiative to chop down with his axe. The other explosion was caused by Man Rang's sneak attack on the brown-robed profound core cultivator, as he shot out dozens of will lights. The brown-robed profound core cultivator from the Yi Xing Ocean immediately brought out a shield to block it. This killing array was controlled by Ning Cheng, as such it did not have even half a shred of effect on Man Rang, but against the cultivators from the Yi Xing Ocean, it was actually quite powerful. Another burst of true essence erupted, as this profound core 3rd-level cultivator was directly sent flying by Man Rang. His cultivation was not as good as Man Rang's, coupled with Ning Cheng's help from the side, coupled with the fact that they were trapped in the middle of the killing array, just this one move was enough to put him at a disadvantage. Ignore his magic treasures. Attack him with everything you've got. Ning Cheng, on seeing this red-faced profound core cultivator bring out his 6-bladed gates, which immediately transformed into countless 6-dimensional blade lights, quickly called out from the side. Man Rang did not think that Ning Cheng's words would unexpectedly be true. After he easily killed a profound core 5th-level cultivator, he simply could not believe it. This was too simple, so simple that he felt that it was impossible. He had to destroy the spirit stone cannons of the Hua Continent's cultivator army as soon as possible. At this time, he certainly came to understand the reason why his spiritual consciousness was not able to sweep into the place. That was the spirit stone cannon. He had been overly suspicious and seemed to have missed the best opportunity to strike. At the same time that Ning Cheng threw out the array flags, the environment around the group immediately changed, as endless axe lights swept out. It was as if a hailstorm of axes had suddenly fallen, densely packed together. From the moment the brown-robed profound core cultivator entered the serial killing array, until Ning Qing made his move, it simply took less than 7 breaths of time. Ning Qing and Man Rang had already completed their sneak attack, and had even successfully killed a profound core 5th level cultivator. For Ning Qing, this was the result of 1 + 1 being greater than 2. Just as Man Rang blasted out dozens of light wheels to sneak attack that brown-robed profound core cultivator, at the same time, the red-faced profound core cultivator also blasted out with his magical weapon. Ning Qing did not care about his own injuries, and directly spoke to Jing Ji. Jing Ji and Man Rang will kill that red-faced profound core cultivator, Qi Xiuya will pin down the other two. Man Rang and Jing Ji were stunned for a moment. Ning Qing had told them not to care about the magical weapon of that red-faced profound core cultivator. Wasn't this just sending them to their deaths? With this kind of three-dimensional six-sided blade radiance coming down, if he was left alone, how could he survive? At this time, Ning Qing also made his move. He immediately used the Angry Axe's second form, Tornado. The golden-colored axe shadow in the middle of this axe-light killing intense serial killing array was even more powerful. As soon as Ning Qing brought out the axe shadow, it was just like a tornado, as it completely sucked in the surrounding angry axe killing intense serial killing intent, as it solidly bombarded the back of that brown-robed profound core cultivator. Even if the serial killing array only had a little bit of restraint, it could still play a decisive role in the outcome of the battle. Ning Qing looked at the red-faced profound core cultivator as he directly rushed towards his concealed killing array, and couldn't help but give a dark sigh in his heart. When the two armies confronted each other, the most taboo thing was hesitation. Originally the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army was in a good position, but because they were thinking of leaving, they were not in the mood to continue fighting. As such they hesitated for a moment, which immediately caused their formation to fall into chaos. When Ning Qing was not able to completely block the Thunder Light Halo, he immediately took back his Golden Great Axe, as the remaining Thunder Light Halo directly bombarded Ning Qing's chest. Ning Qing was also sent flying upside down, as he spat out a mouthful of blood. But that profound core 3rd level Yixing Ocean's cultivator had no way to escape from Ning Qing's first trace, and was directly killed by the Angry Axe's first trace. This time Ning Qing had only chopped out a simple axe trace, but the opponent he chose was a profound core 3rd level Yixing Ocean's cultivator. Ning Qing knew that he would not be able to kill this profound core cultivator, as such this axe trace was a message to Man Rang, to let him go all out, and that he would forcibly stop him. Ka. Ning Qing's serial killing array under the attacks of the other 3 profound core cultivators, in just an instant about 70 to 80% of it broke apart, and in just a few breaths, it would completely shatter. While Man Rang and Jing Ji were jointly attacking the red-faced cultivator, outside of the serial killing array was another scene. The 2 profound core cultivators who had not entered the serial killing array, had already broken through the defensive array formation that Ning Qing had arranged. Although Yang Honghua's Spirit Stone Cannon was able to delay them for some time, but if the Spirit Stone Cannon wanted to kill a profound core cultivator, it was simply not realistic. Boom 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 boom, although these dense axe lights were filled with killing intent, but the damage to the several profound core cultivators was not very big. At best it would only make them waste some time trying to block these axe lights. He knew that once the 2 of them, Man Rang and Jing Ji, chose to block the 6 blade lights, then the result would definitely be that the serial killing array would be broken, while the red-faced profound core cultivator would not be killed. Now that they were inside the serial killing array, if they besieged the red-faced profound core cultivator, then they would definitely be able to kill him, but once the killing array was broken, then everyone would be in the same situation. Wanting to kill the red-faced profound core cultivator would not be easy at all. Not good. There is a low-level Forbidden Sky restriction. Immediately put away your flight-type magical weapons, and spread out. Wait for us to break the restriction before bringing out our flight-type magical weapons. The red-faced profound core cultivator immediately felt the Forbidden Sky restriction as soon as he came out of the city. After he issued the order, his speed not only did not slow down, but instead became even faster. At the same time, Jing Ji and Qi Xiuya, under the instructions of the array flags, threw out several array flags, and also brought out their own magical weapons. Start. Almost at the same time that the red-faced profound core cultivator started, Ning Qing sent out a sound transmission to Man Rang, while he hid himself in a corner of the killing array. His words had just fallen, when the brown-robed cultivator was already killed by Ning Cheng and Man Rang. Dean Man, you first deal with that brown-robed profound core 5th level cultivator, we will be the first to kill him. Ning Cheng, on seeing the red-faced cultivator enter the killing array, immediately sent out a sound transmission to Man Rang. Understanding that he might have missed the best time to start, the red-faced profound core cultivator crazily rushed towards the spirit stone cannon. Peng peng. Puff! Ning Cheng had been waiting for this moment. He directly converged his golden axe shadow, turning it into an axe trace as it rumbled towards the profound core 3rd level cultivator. Under the attack of these two profound core cultivators, in just a few breaths of time, thousands of Hua Continent's cultivator soldiers turned into corpses. Bang! This brown-robed profound core cultivator had focused most of his attention on Man Rang. As such, he simply did not think that there was still a little essence-building cultivator hiding behind him. Ning Cheng's whirlwind axe shadow directly blew apart his corporeal body, causing him to immediately die in the middle of the killing array. This Yixing Ocean's profound core cultivator on one side had to block Man Rang's full-force sneak attack, while on the other side he had to avoid Ning Cheng's crisscrossing axe shadows from the middle of the killing array. Man Rang immediately attacked the brown-robed profound core 5th level cultivator, but at the same time as he started, he couldn't help but admire Ning Cheng even more in his heart. Not only was the killing array arranged by Ning Cheng beyond his expectations, but Ning Cheng, who only had the cultivation of essence building realm, was actually able to clearly see the specific cultivation level of a profound core cultivator. These thunder light halos and Man Rang's red rainbow will collided with each other, causing circles after circles of true essence to burst out with thunder light halos. Man Rang quickly put down the surprise in his heart, as he once again brought out the red rainbow wheel in his hands, causing dozens of circles of killing light halos to explode out in unison with Ning Cheng's axe traces. Not waiting for Ning Cheng to send out a sound transmission, the three profound core cultivators had already taken their positions. This is a killing array, do not worry, just attack with all your strength, this is just a low-level killing array. Everyone look at the position where I am going to attack. The red-faced profound core cultivator found that Ning Cheng had unexpectedly arranged a low-level killing array to wait for him, causing him to become even more furious. He was angry at the insidiousness of the Hua Continent's cultivator army, but at the same time he was also annoyed that he was actually afraid of the Hua Continent's cultivator army, causing him to waste the best time. But the fact was, Ning Cheng had already directed Jing Ji and Qi Xiuya to contain the red-faced profound core cultivator, while he once again started to attack the other profound core cultivator. Ning Cheng's actions, Man Rang was very clear, that was, he wanted him to go all out. The more they could kill the profound core cultivators in the shortest possible time, the more advantageous it would be for them. Continuous sounds of explosions resounded in the middle of Ning Cheng's killing array, as the magical weapons of the Yixing Ocean's profound core cultivator bombarded the array heart of the killing array, while the magical weapons and array flags that Jing Ji and Qi Xiuya shot out, not only hindered the intensity of the attacks from the Yixing Ocean's cultivators, but also changed the position of the array heart. Shidu, something's wrong, they seem to be waiting for us to come over. That thin profound core cultivator had just felt that something was wrong, when the killing array in Ning Cheng's hands had already been activated and the array flags were thrown out. This profound core 3rd level cultivator knew that Man Rang was on the side, as such he did not dare to go all out against Ning Cheng. The red dragon trident in his hands immediately shot out numerous thunder light halos. These thunder light halos, in addition to a very small number of them locking onto Ning Cheng's golden axe trace, the rest of the thunder light halos all exploded towards Man Rang. Ning Cheng's understanding of the axe intent was the most thorough, his angry axe-killing intent had already reached the large accomplishment realm. Under his powerful comprehension ability, he was able to integrate the axe intent into the killing array. One after another, two profound core cultivators were killed by Ning Cheng and Man Rang, causing the morale of the red-faced profound core cultivator to almost ignite. Now that Man Rang and Jing Ji were besieging him at the same time, he immediately brought out his own magical weapon, the 6 gate blades. He wanted to kill one of them first. From the time these 5 profound core cultivators rushed into the killing array arranged by Ning Cheng, it had only been a few breaths of time, yet Ning Cheng had already killed 2 profound core cultivators. At this time, whether it was Man Rang, Jing Ji or Qi Xiuya, all of them were sincerely convinced by Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng issued an order, and the 2 of them did not hesitate to execute it. Chapter 178. Jing Ji simply did not have the time to think about it, as he directly brought out his dual elephant pagoda and blasted it towards the red-faced profound core cultivator. He really did not care about the red-faced cultivator's 6-bladed gates. Before he made his move, he had already understood that he was ready to die, coupled with the fact that Ning Cheng had the upper hand since the beginning, coupled with the fact that this place was within the array formation arranged by Ning Cheng, he believed that Ning Cheng would not let him and Man Rang perish together with this red-faced cultivator. If Ning Cheng really wanted to do such a thing, then he would also accept it. Man Rang only hesitated for a moment before throwing caution to the wind. Once he missed this opportunity, he would not get it again. His scarlet rainbow will was stimulated even more frenziedly, bringing along close to 100 will rings as it blasted out. At the same time, Ning Cheng also started. Ning Cheng also stimulated his true essence and spiritual consciousness, before he brought out a moldy copper coin. This 5 elements treasure fall copper coin, after Ning Cheng obtained it, he had never used it, and had been continuously refining it. Even now, he had only refined 3 layers of the restriction and was far from refining all of the copper coins. It was very difficult to bring out the 5 elements treasure fall copper coin, as such Ning Cheng was not willing to bring out this kind of thing unless it was a last resort. At this critical moment, Ning Cheng no longer cared about anything else, as he crazily stimulated his true essence and spiritual consciousness to drive the 5 elements treasure fall copper coin. The red-faced profound core cultivator's 6-bladed gates had transformed into innumerable 3-dimensional blade lights, which almost completely surrounded the Ning Cheng trio. It seemed that as long as they were given a moment, these 3-dimensional blade lights would turn the 3 of them into mincemeat. At this moment, an incomparably large copper coin with a square hole suddenly appeared. The boundless 6-sided blade radiance immediately paused, and the surrounding strangulation blade radiance space also paused slightly. Man Rang and Jing Ji, who had been suppressed by the 3-dimensional blade beams for a long time, suddenly felt that their bodies had loosened up, and the killing light of the magic treasures in their hands had become even more intense. The square hole copper coin brought out a line that could only be vaguely perceived by one's spiritual consciousness, as it rolled up the 6-bladed gates of the red-faced profound core cultivator, causing the innumerable 3-dimensional bladed lights to stagnate for a moment, before in just a twinkling of an eye, they rapidly decreased. The red-faced profound core cultivator was aware that his 6-bladed gates were about to break away from his control, not to mention stimulating the 6-dimensional bladed lights. This was definitely a top-grade binding magic treasure. After the red-faced cultivator understood this, he frantically stimulated his spiritual sense to take back the 6 blades. If he did not take back the 6-bladed gates, then facing the full-strength attacks of the 2 profound core cultivators, even if he did not die, he would definitely be killed by the low-leveled axe-light killing intent of the chain-killing array. Although Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness was powerful, but it could not be compared to a profound core cultivator. Even if his 5 elements treasure fall copper coin was more powerful, he would not be able to display its full potential. A powerful spiritual sense counterattacked, causing Ning Cheng's sea of consciousness to ache. The next moment, he was blasted out. The red-faced profound core cultivator felt that the 6 gate blades had once again become his magical weapon, causing his heart to sink. Man Rang and Jing Ji's attacks had completely covered him. At this time this red-faced profound core cultivator could only stimulate his true essence to protect himself. He took back the 6 blades, but he had no way to counterattack. Although his true essence and spiritual consciousness were extremely powerful, but after exploding Ning Cheng's 5 elements treasure fall copper coin, and even injuring Ning Cheng, it was simply impossible for him to block the full force attacks of 2 profound core cultivators. Bang bang, blood splattered everywhere, as this profound core cultivator was directly killed by Man Rang and Jing Ji. Ning Cheng wiped the blood from the corners of his mouth, and immediately took back the 5 elements treasure fall copper coin. As he spoke to Man Rang and Jing Ji, the 2 of you will kill one of the profound core cultivators, as for the other one, Qi Xiuya will be able to contain him. Saying that, Ning Cheng immediately sat down and began to heal himself. The interlocking array formation was about to be broken, but the most dangerous time was about to pass. Man Rang and Qi Xiuya were incomparably shocked in their hearts. They did not think that Ning Cheng would have a magical weapon that was able to contain the full force attack of a late-stage profound core cultivator. What kind of magical weapon was that? It was simply too terrifying. The 2 of them also knew that Ning Cheng was injured, but this was the most critical time. As long as they could kill the other 2, the overall situation would be set in stone. The remaining 2 Yixing Ocean's profound core cultivators at this moment were like frightened birds. How could they still have even half a shred of fighting spirit? At this time they just wanted to escape as soon as possible, and escape from this terrifying killing array that was about to be broken. The overall situation had indeed been set in stone. When Ning Cheng once again stood up, Man Rang and Jing Ji had joined forces to kill the 4th profound core cultivator in the middle of the killing array. On the Hua continent's side, 3 profound core cultivators were besieging a 5th profound core cultivator, but the killing array had still not been broken. With 3 profound core cultivators besieging a single profound core cultivator, moreover in the middle of Ning Cheng's killing array, it did not take much effort for them to kill this profound core cultivator. This ambush, from the beginning to the end, only took a few dozen breaths of time. Jing Ji, Qi Xiuya and Ning Cheng were all injured. But Man Rang was not even injured, and had already completed Ning Cheng's predetermined goal. Not waiting for Ning Cheng to speak, Man Rang, Jing Ji and Qi Xiuya, the 3 of them immediately went to intercept the remaining 2 profound core cultivators. When the killing array opened, the Yixing Ocean's cultivators found that their 5 profound core cultivators had disappeared, and immediately knew that they had lost. Since the 5 profound core cultivators had already been killed, then how could the remaining 2 people fight? The Hua continent's cultivator army, under the crazy slaughter of the 2 profound core cultivators and dozens of profound congealing cultivators, in just a short period of time they had already lost more than 10,000 people, even 7 or 8 of their profound congealing cultivators had already been killed. Fortunately, at this time, the Hua continent's profound core cultivators counterattacked. The 2 Hua continent's profound core cultivators were able to pin down the 2 profound core cultivators from the Yixing Ocean, while the remaining profound core cultivator began to slaughter the Yixing Ocean's profound congealing cultivators. The battle was gradually tilting towards one side, with the continuous roars from the spirit stone cannons. The Yixing Ocean's profound congealing cultivators and essence-building cultivators were constantly being beheaded. This battle simply did not have even half a shred of suspense. Ning Cheng did not participate in the battle again. This kind of battle did not require him to do anything. Even if the spirit stone cannons stopped firing, with 3 profound core cultivators besieging 2 profound core cultivators, the outcome of the battle would soon be decided. After an hour, the seriously injured Man Rang, Jing Ji and Qi Xiuya arrived in front of Ning Cheng. They did not need to participate in the rest of the battle. The 2 profound core cultivators and all the profound congealing cultivators had already been killed by them. As such, the rest of the battle in the Hua continent could be handled by the profound congealing cultivators. Man Rang and Jing Ji were seriously injured under the counterattack of the Yixing Ocean's profound core cultivators. Jing Ji's arm was broken, while Man Rang's internal organs were severely injured, but they also managed to kill the 2 profound core cultivators. But the mood of the several people was very happy, although their injuries were very serious. But even if their injuries were serious, they would still be able to slowly recuperate and recover. As for the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army that had invaded the Hua continent, they knew that they would be completely annihilated in the Hua continent. When the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army had set foot on the Hua continent's territory, no one had thought of such a result, but this result actually appeared in front of everyone. This can be said to be entirely due to Ning Cheng. The spirit stone cannons were brought by Ning Cheng. The array formation that trapped the Yixing Ocean's cultivators was also Ning Cheng's idea. Even the array formation was arranged by Ning Cheng. Junior Commander Ning, if not for you, then in the future even if the Yixing Ocean's cultivators withdrew from the Hua continent, the Hua continent would definitely not be able to recover its essence qi. I, Man Rang, rarely admire people, but this time I sincerely thank you. Man Rang spoke and even bent his waist towards Ning Cheng. Jing Ji and Qi Xiuya were also very respectful towards Ning Cheng, although Ning Cheng's cultivation was not as high as theirs, but they were sure that in the future Ning Cheng's achievements would be far greater than theirs. After Ning Cheng returned the courtesy, he said, I have to go to the God Wind Academy. I will not be able to participate in the war in the Hua continent. I will have to trouble the three of you. Since the war had reached this point, the Yixing Ocean's cultivators in the Hua continent only had one choice, and that was to escape as soon as possible. Whether Ning Cheng would participate in the war or not, it was no longer important. Junior Commander Ning, I will definitely spread your name to the entire Hua continent's cultivator army. I will also tell all the people of the Hua continent, and let them know who was the one who took back the Hua continent. When Man Rang saw Ning Cheng off, he was still speaking in a loud voice. Ning Cheng did not care about these things, he wanted to go to the God Wind Academy to have a look. Ning Cheng had never been to the God Wind Academy, as he had the map that Man Rang gave him. The map that Man Rang gave him was very detailed, moreover the God Wind Academy was not close to the Moze city, so with the speed of Ning Cheng's black-silver warship, they arrived in just an hour. The God Wind Academy was deathly still, there were not many buildings destroyed. It seems that after the God Wind Academy was destroyed by the unknown forces, the cultivators from the Yixing Ocean had not come to this place. Ning Cheng swept out with his spiritual consciousness, and found that everything that had a little bit of value in the God Wind Academy had already been taken away. He also did not see any trace of any cultivators in the vicinity. As for the location of Ji Luofei's immortal cave, Ning Cheng was also not able to find it. After half an hour, Ning Cheng left the God Wind Academy with some disappointment. Since Luofei had been taken away by the white-haired old woman, then she should be all right. As for the white-haired old woman's cultivation, Ning Cheng estimated that she was at least in the soul essence realm. In the face of a character with this kind of cultivation, unless the other party was willing to take the initiative to look for him, if the white-haired old woman did not take the initiative to look for him, then he certainly would not be able to find the other party. Chapter 179. More than 10 days later, Ning Cheng and Yang Honghua once again returned to the Jia continent's Yixing Ocean's inner sea. This place had long since regained its peace. It was as if the battle from before had never happened. Many merchant ships once again sailed through this sea. Ning Cheng secretly sighed at the vitality of the merchants. In just a short period of a month, the traces of countless battles between cultivators had already disappeared without a trace. The Pubu Island was not very far from here, so Yang Honghua controlled the black-silver warship and quickly arrived at the periphery of the Pubu Island. The black-silver warship had not yet approached the Pubu Island, when several cultivator soldiers from the Jia continent surrounded them. Ning Cheng had not even had the time to reveal his identity, when Kong Peng Peng's laughing voice arrived. Not bad, you are doing very well in the Hua continent. Several of the Jia continent's cultivator soldiers quickly gave a salute to Kong Peng Peng. Kong Peng Peng waved his hand to signal the few cultivator soldiers to retreat, as he landed on Ning Cheng's black-silver warship and patted Ning Cheng's shoulder and said, "Those monkeys from the Yixing Ocean wanted to make the Hua continent's cultivator army retreat, but were killed by you. Ning Cheng, you have done a good job. It looks like me taking the risk of letting you become a 5-star junior commander was the right choice." "Many thanks, General Kong." Ning Cheng quickly thanked him. "Put this on first, I have already helped you change it to your own name." Kong Peng Peng took out an epaulet and handed it to Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng took the epaulet and asked, "I don't know what the final result was between the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army and my 9 continents cultivator army?" Kong Peng Peng gave a smile and said, "The result was exactly the same as what I had guessed. Those monkeys from the Yixing Ocean just wanted to obtain a quota for the law's way." This time, the cultivator armies of the 9 continents had suffered a lot of losses, while the Yixing Ocean's cultivator armies were also unable to attack the advanced level continents. The result of the negotiations between the two sides was that 400 quotas for the Law's Way would be allocated to the cultivators from the Yixing Ocean. So many. Ning Cheng had thought that even if the two sides reached a compromise, the final quota would only be around 100. He did not expect that the Yixing Ocean would actually give out 400 quotas at once. Kong Peng Peng curbed his smile and spoke, "This time the Yixing Ocean's cultivators have cut off all means of retreat, moreover the Yixing Ocean's crucible transformation cultivators are also involved. If these quotas were not given out, then the war was bound to continue, and the 9 continents of the Yixing mainland would end up in ashes due to the battles between the powerhouses." A fight between crucible transformation cultivators is not something that an ordinary cultivator army can compare to. In the past, when the two sides fought, did the crucible transformation cultivators not come out? Ning Cheng asked. That's right, under normal circumstances, crucible transformation cultivators would not participate in the battles of the ordinary cultivator armies. This time, because of the opening of the Heaven's Way, whether it was the crucible transformation cultivators from the Yixing Ocean or the crucible transformation cultivators from the 9 continents, as long as they reached a certain age and cultivation, they would all be able to head towards the Tian continent to have a try. Therefore, this war is somewhat different from the past. Kong Peng Peng somewhat helplessly said, it was obvious that he was very dissatisfied with his own cultivation. While the two of them were talking, Kong Peng Peng had already brought Ning Cheng into the Yizheng battalion's camp, while simultaneously introducing Ning Cheng to the other 3 junior commanders of the Yizheng battalion. All the people found it strange that Ning Cheng was so young, moreover his cultivation was also not that high, yet he unexpectedly became a 5-star junior commander. Kong Peng Peng's prestige was extremely high, everyone in the barracks felt it was strange, but no one asked anything. Ning Cheng, you just came back from the Hua continent, it must have been a bit hard for you. Are you going to choose your own soldiers now, or are you going to take a rest first? Kong Peng Peng saw that Ning Cheng was somewhat absent-minded, and took the initiative to ask a question. The rest of the junior commanders and the Marquis secretly sighed. General Kong really did not have anything to say about Ning Cheng, for him to be so considerate towards Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng really did not have any interest in the matters of the barracks, moreover he also did not intend to stay in the barracks for a long time, as such he quickly spoke up, I do not know much about the Jia continent's cultivator army, I would like to ask the general to help me mobilize a junior commander. I would like to go back and take a rest. The rest of the officers in the barracks secretly sighed. This junior commander Ning was really arrogant, he even wanted the general to help him choose a cultivator soldier, while he himself went to take a rest. Kong Peng Peng laughed and said, that's fine, let that Yang Honghua come with me. Kong Peng Peng understood the meaning of Ning Cheng's words. Ning Cheng estimated that he was not particularly interested in the cultivator army. The main purpose of him joining the cultivator army was most likely to be for the sake of cultivation. Ning Cheng indeed had this intention, he simply did not want to stay in the cultivator army for long. His original purpose in joining the cultivator army was to return to the Hua continent. Now the reason why he came back here was to participate in the Law's Way. Once he came out of the Law's Way, he would go around looking for his own cultivation resources. To enhance his strength, he would have to go to the Law's Way to gain insights, and to enhance his cultivation, he would need a lot of cultivation resources. Relying on the resources of the cultivator army, regardless of whether it was enough or not, he was definitely not enough. Kong Peng Peng really had nothing to say about Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng came to his own junior commander barracks. As he looked around, he was very satisfied in his heart. In addition to the area being a bit smaller than Kong Peng Peng's mansion, he was very satisfied with the rest of the place. This place could not even be called the Junior Commander Barracks, rather it should be called his Junior Commander Mansion. Because there were no soldiers stationed here, it was tantamount to Ning Cheng's private immortal cave. In the cultivator army, as long as a person had reached the rank of a 1-star, they would have their own separate residence. Ning Cheng was already a 5-star cultivator. Not only did he have his own separate residence, but his residence was also very beautiful and luxurious. Not only that, there were also 2 pretty-looking female servants who were sent to Ning Cheng's junior commander mansion. For the cultivator army to have female servants to serve them, this was an extremely normal thing. Ning Cheng had already seen it. He even saw that there were more than a dozen beautiful female servants in Kong Pengpeng's mansion. However, Ning Cheng did not like female servants. He had a lot of secrets, so when he was cultivating, he simply did not want anyone to be around him. Moreover, with his character, there was really no way for him to leave a woman that he had already slept with in this place for other people to enjoy. Besides, he had not even done it with Luofei. How could he give his first time to a female servant that he did not even know? The two female servants were sent by Kong Pengpeng. As such, Ning Cheng directly let the two female servants return to Kong Pengpeng's general mansion. After Ning Cheng arranged a variety of array formations around his residence, Yang Honghua arrived at Ning Cheng's residence with a woman with the cultivation of profound congealing realm. Nan Yuefang greets Junior Commander Ning. This woman with the cultivation of profound congealing realm did not wait for Ning Cheng to speak, as she took the initiative to step forward and give a salute. Nan Yuefang looked to be in her 30s, although her facial features were not very delicate, but there was a kind of heroic aura about her. The most conspicuous thing about her was her incomparably fiery figure, as she had the standard curves of a woman. If only her face was a little more perfect, then she would definitely be an invincible beauty. Unfortunately, everything had its regrets. Her face could only be said to have regular facial features. On her shoulder, there was a green 4-star shoulder card with the words Junior Marquis Nan Yuefang written on it. Yang Honghua, on seeing Ning Cheng sizing up Nan Yuefang, quickly added from the side, "Junior Commander Ning, this is Junior Marquis Nan Yuefang, who has just joined our Junior Commander Battalion." General Kong had asked who was willing to join our Junior Commander Battalion, and only Junior Marquis Nan Yuefang took the initiative to come over. A Junior Commander Battalion is made up of 4 Marquis battalions. We still need to continue to recruit soldiers. Ning Cheng thought in his heart, how is this me picking out my soldiers? This is obviously Bing picking on me. Kong Pengpeng had said that he was willing to come, but the result was that only Nan Yuefang came. It was obvious that the rest of the people were not willing. Ning Cheng did not care about whether or not his Junior Commander Battalion would be able to recruit a full complement of soldiers. As he spoke to Nan Yuefang, "Welcome Junior Marquis Nan to our Junior Commander Battalion." Saying that, Ning Cheng then turned to Yang Honghua and said, "Our Junior Commander Battalion will be temporarily named as the Junior Marquis Battalion. As for the rest of the soldiers, I will recruit them later. I'm going into seclusion now, so you and young Marquis Nan can handle the camp's matters." Nan Yuefang stared blankly at this new junior commander who had just spoken a few words and then turned around to leave, and was very puzzled in her heart. She had thought that this junior commander would be very polite to her, and would even be grateful to her for joining his Junior Commander Battalion. But she did not expect that he would just casually say a few words of welcome and leave. But this was also good. The reason why she wanted to join Ning Cheng's Junior Commander Battalion was because she had heard that Ning Cheng only had the cultivation of intermediate stage essence building realm. She was already afraid of being harassed by those so-called junior commanders. Moreover, Ning Cheng only had the cultivation of essence building realm, so even if he tried to harass her, he would not be able to do anything to her. Ning Cheng certainly was not in the mood to care about these things, as he once again went into seclusion, but this time he still continued with his alchemy. While he was continuously refining array flags outside the Moze city for a few days, it gave him some inspiration. He felt that the reason why he was constantly failing in alchemy was not because he was not suitable for alchemy, nor was it because his ability to comprehend alchemy was poor, but rather because his cultivation was too low. His cultivation was poor, but when he was performing alchemy, he still used a spiritual artifact pill furnace. His magical weapons were not even at the level of spiritual artifacts, so when he used a spiritual artifact pill furnace as a pill furnace, there would definitely be a problem in controlling it. As a result, it resulted in failure after failure in refining a batch of pills. At this time, his cultivation directly rose to essence building 4th level, compared to when he was at essence building 1st level. Whether it was his true essence or his spiritual consciousness, both had risen by several times. Presumably, even if he used a spiritual artifact pill furnace again, it would not be a problem. Ning Cheng once again refined a batch of rank 1 pills, returning chi pills. He carefully preheated the pill furnace with his true fire, while simultaneously placed 6 or 7 rank 1 spiritual grasses into the pill furnace in order. After the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, the spiritual grasses in the pill furnace began to melt. Ning Cheng, according to his own understanding, used his spiritual consciousness to slowly separate the medicinal liquid and the residue, and then threw out the residue, and began to fuse with the medicinal liquid. Half an hour later, the medicinal liquid in the pill furnace gradually began to exude a fragrant aroma, causing Ning Cheng to become even more excited in his heart. Even if it was only a batch of rank 1 pills, with the medicinal fragrance coming out, it meant that he was one step closer to becoming a tier 1 ordinary pill master. Before, he had refined it countless times, and was able to separate out the medicinal liquid, but there was no medicinal fragrance. After an hour, Ning Cheng felt that his sea of consciousness was somewhat tired. This should be caused by the consumption of his spiritual consciousness. Ning Cheng was not surprised, on the contrary he was happy. He had refined so many batches of pills before, but he had never encountered a situation where his spiritual consciousness was insufficient. Now it seems that it was not that his spiritual consciousness was powerful, but rather he had not even crossed the threshold of alchemy. After the time it takes for half an incense stick to burn, Ning Cheng was finally able to completely control the medicinal liquid in the pill furnace. He was just about to use the pill-pulling art from the foundation of alchemy to bring out the pills, when he suddenly felt that the pill art from the foundation of alchemy was not very perfect. A new pill technique naturally formed in his mind. This pill technique was only effective for this type of pill that was being refined at this time. Ning Cheng did not hesitate to use the new pill art. The next moment 12 perfect blue-colored pills fell into a jade box that he had prepared. Chapter 180. 12 superior grade returning chi pills. Ning Cheng sighed. It was his first time refining pills, and he had already refined 12 superior grade returning chi pills to perfection. This was not because his alchemy level was high, nor was it because his comprehension ability was high, nor was it because he was a genius in alchemy, but because of one thing, the mysterious yellow formless. No one's pill arts were constantly changing, except for him. The reason why he couldn't refine a special grade pill was because he had spent too much time refining the medicinal liquid in the early stages, which consumed too much of the medicinal liquid's medicinal properties and spirituality. Ning Cheng did not refine any other pills. He continued to refine the returning chi pill, which was only a rank 1 pill. That time, when he refined the array flags, he was greatly inspired. No matter how simple something was, when you became familiar with it to a certain extent, it would cause a qualitative change. When he refined the returning chi pill, his spiritual consciousness was almost insufficient. It was not because refining the returning chi pill required a powerful spiritual consciousness, nor was it because his alchemy technique was wrong. It was because he was unfamiliar with alchemy. As the first day passed by, Ning Cheng was busy refining the returning chi pill. The next day also passed by like this, as Ning Cheng refined the returning chi pill. On the 15th day, when the only junior marquis of his junior commander battalion, Nanyue Fang, came to find him, he was still refining returning chi pills. On the 23rd day, when Kong Peng Peng came to look for Ning Cheng was still in seclusion refining the returning chi pill. On the 30th day, Ning Cheng used less than the time it takes for half an incense stick to burn to refine a batch of unique quality returning chi pills, when he suddenly became sluggish. He even forgot to clean up the pill furnace, and forgot to summarize the gains and losses of this alchemy. After a good number of breaths, Ning Cheng could not believe it and said to himself, "There is no pill art for the returning chi pill?" He had been refining the chi returning pill for 30 days. In the beginning, he was still constantly summarizing the gains and losses, but in the last few days, he completely wanted to refine all the materials for the chi returning pill. This was because even if he closed his eyes, he could still easily refine a batch of special grade chi recovery pills. In these 30 days, his pill refining method and pill condensing method were all different for each batch of chi returning pills. Ning Cheng had already gotten used to it. Every time he collected the pill art would automatically appear. But today, he clearly felt that he did not use any pill arts to refine the herbs, separate the dregs, purify, condense the liquid, recover the spirit, condense the shape, and form the pill. This process was done in one go, without the use of any pill techniques. He just felt that it was the right thing to do, so he did it. In the end, it naturally formed a batch of energy recovery pills. Refining a batch of chi returning pills without any pill art. This was completely different from what he saw in the foundation of alchemy. The foundation of alchemy was that any alchemy technique, any medicinal pill must be matched with a pill art. Only a good pill art could form a better medicinal pill. Without a pill art, the pill would not have a shape. Without a shape, it could only be called a pill. Ning Qing took out the last batch of returning chi pills that he had refined, and compared it with the previous batch of returning chi pills. He could feel the difference. The last batch of energy recovery pills had a spiritual nature, while the previous ones only had a medicinal nature. After Ning Qing refined the chi returning pill for a month, he immediately understood this truth. The chi returning pill that other people refined using pill arts only had medicinal properties, and that was its appearance. But he had relied on the medicinal liquid to automatically form the chi returning pill, without the use of any pill art, but it had a spiritual nature. This was a sign of God. He had heard people say that only a very small number of profound pill masters, when refining ordinary pills, would occasionally be able to refine chi returning pills that had a divine nature. But he was just an ordinary tier 1 ordinary pill master, and yet he was able to refine pills that had a divine nature. This was the difference between the mysterious yellow formless and the other pill arts. He had just started learning about pills, and was already able to refine pills of this quality. Suppressing the excitement in his heart, Ning Qing continued to refine pills. He was not only refining chi returning pills, but he was also refining other tier 1 pills, such as chi gathering pills and so on. After another month, Ning Qing finally stopped refining tier 1 pills. He felt that he no longer needed to refine tier 1 pills. He did not need to use any pill art to refine any tier 1 pill. He could also use any pill art to refine a tier 1 pill. Ning Qing put away the pill furnace, and cleaned himself up a bit. He decided to go to the Pubu Island to have a look, and when he came back, he would start refining tier 2 pills. Ning Qing had just opened the door to his room, when his spiritual consciousness swept out and found Nan Yuefang and Yang Honghua waiting outside his junior commander mansion. "What are you doing here?" Ning Qing arrived in front of the two of them and asked in a puzzled manner. He found that Lan Yueying's complexion was a bit ugly. Yang Honghua spoke with a sad face. "Half a month ago, in the Pubu Islands Jia Continent's Cultivator Army's Beast Tide War, our junior commander's results were at the bottom. Junior Marquis Nan was ridiculed by people, they said. Ning Qing waved his hand. He knew that it was definitely not something good. But the Yixing Ocean's war was already over, so where did the Beast Tide come from? What is the matter with the Beast Tide War? You tell me about it," Ning Qing asked. Nan Yuefang, on seeing that Ning Qing did not even know what the Beast Tide was, suddenly looked at Ning Qing speechlessly. What kind of junior commander was this? He did not even know the most basic things about the Pubu Island. In the end, were his deeds true or false? Yang Honghua knew about Ning Cheng's origin, and quickly spoke up. "The Yixing Ocean has a beast tide outbreak every year. It is the spontaneous behavior of the monstrous beasts, and has nothing to do with the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army. The cultivator army stationed on the major islands of the Yixing Ocean, every year they fight against the beast tide. This kind of beast tide generally does not have any impact on the 9 continents, and for the 9 continents cultivator army stationed in the Yixing Ocean, it is only good and not bad." Ning Qing understood. This beast tide should be the monstrous beasts that originally existed in the Yixing Ocean. He had wondered before, if there was no war, then where did the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army get their cultivation resources? It turned out that there was a beast tide every year. The Yixing Ocean's monstrous beasts were full of treasures. Whether it was the fur or the flesh, they could all be sold. These things were more than enough for the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army to cultivate. No wonder there were so many merchant ships coming and going from the Pubu Island every day. These merchant ships, in addition to transporting a lot of resources, also carried away a lot of monstrous beasts' materials. Our junior commander, because of the small number of people, did not dare to rush to the front. As a result, the number of monstrous beasts that we managed to snatch were very few, and the income was also very small. Nan Yuefang spoke in a very uncomfortable manner. Other people were led by their junior commander, with the 4 marquee battalions and their junior commander's personal guards forming a fortress to attack, while their junior commander only had her as a junior marquee. In the face of the beast tide, she could only follow behind the buttocks of others to pick up some rubbish materials. Moreover, the others did not even want them. Is that all? Ning Qing said, it was just some monstrous beast's materials. Was there a need to put on such a long face? Nan Yuefang finally could not help but speak out loudly, Senior Junior Commander, although it is just a small matter for you, but for our junior marquee battalion, it is not a small matter. Do you know what is the main purpose of our cultivator army joining the army? Everyone is here for cultivation. If we do not even have cultivation resources, then why would we even come here? Saying that, Lan Yuefang glanced at Yang Honghua with a very dissatisfied look. Yang Honghua had talked so much about their junior commander, but the result was that he was such a person. Ning Qing realized that he had spoken the wrong words. The main purpose of the cultivators in the cultivator army was indeed to cultivate. If they did not even have cultivation resources, then who would be willing to join the cultivator army? He said with some embarrassment, this year's beast tide has ended, I do not know. Let's talk about it next year. At that time we will have to work harder. Yang Honghua knew that Ning Qing did not understand much about the life of the cultivator army in the Pubu Island, and quickly spoke up, Junior Commander, even if the beast tide ends, our cultivator army will often go out to the sea. We go out to the sea to hunt monstrous beasts. If we encounter a horde of monstrous beasts, then the number of us junior marquee really is not enough. This is simple. Ning Qing said as he walked to the public square in his mansion, and raised his hand to bring out the black-silver warship and said, leave this in the barracks. The next time you go out, use this warship's spirit stone cannon to bombard. Yang Honghua was speechless as he spoke, Junior Commander, if we had so many spirit stones, why would we use them to bombard the monstrous beasts? Ning Qing smiled, and was just about to speak, when he heard Nan Yuefang, who was shocked by the sight of the black-silver warship, exclaim, this is a top-quality black-silver warship. Yang Honghua, is what you said true? Yang Honghua spoke with a bitter face, Junior Marquis Nan, what I said is certainly true. It is a fact that our junior commander has a black-silver warship. Why would I lie to you about it? Ha ha. With this, we would not have to fear the monstrous beasts, nor would we have to fear those sons of bitches who show off. Nan Yuefang suddenly felt that something was wrong. She subconsciously looked at Ning Qing and asked, Junior Commander, are you really willing to leave the black-silver warship with me? Ning Qing was going to go to the Law's Way soon. As such, this black-silver warship was indeed much more useful in the army compared to him. Moreover, he also intended to get a higher-grade flight-type magical weapon. Besides, even if he did not have a flight-type magical weapon, he still had the twin heavenly cloud wings. That's right. This black-silver warship will be temporarily placed in your junior marquee barracks. By the way, do you have a storage ring that can hold this big thing? Ning Qing suddenly remembered that Nan Yuefang only had the cultivation of profound congealing realm. Moreover, there were many profound congealing cultivators who did not even have a storage ring. If he had known earlier, he would have asked Man Rang for a storage ring. The Yixing Ocean's profound core cultivators' storage rings were filled with the cultivation resources that they had plundered from the Hua continent. Ning Qing, in addition to taking a few spiritual grasses and a spiritual artifact airship, he also helped Yang Honghua to take a few things. As for the rest, he was too embarrassed to ask for them. Many thanks, Junior Commander, I have a storage ring. Lan Yuefang showed off with her hands. Her tone and expression were completely different from when she had just arrived. She had been in the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army for many years. As such, she was always able to get her hands on some good things. Yang Honghua was somewhat puzzled and asked, Junior Marquis Nan, the spirit stones that this black-silver warship requires is a bottomless pit. How can we afford to use it? Nan Yuefang gave Yang Honghua a blank stare and spoke, "Second Lieutenant Yang, you specialize in the study of warships. Does this black-silver warship really require 1,000 spirit stones? When we encounter a small number of monstrous beasts, we can use up to 100 spirit stones. When we encounter a large group of monstrous beasts, we can use up to 1,000 spirit stones to scatter the cannons. This way the range of the attack would be large, and would not cause the monstrous beasts to gasify. You think about it, if we were to attack thousands of monstrous beasts at once, how many spirit stones would you not be able to get back?" As she spoke till here, Nan Yuefang's eyes were shining, as if she could see piles and piles of monstrous beast materials. Chapter 181. Nan Yuefang at this time did not care about Ning Cheng and Yang Hongho at the side. All her attention was attracted by the black-silver warship that Ning Cheng had taken out. In her heart, she was already thinking about the prestige of her junior Marquis battalion when they entered the Yixing Ocean with this warship. Yang Hongho then remembered and said, "Junior Commander, General Kong said that we also need a name. I don't know if Junior Commander has a good name." When Nan Yuefang heard Yang Hongho speak of a name, she immediately remembered the second reason she came here, and quickly spoke up from the side, "That's right, our junior commander does not have a name, it would not be very resounding." When she came here she was very depressed, but at this time she could not wait to immediately take her Marquis battalion to the Yixing Ocean to make a fortune. Name? Ning Cheng thought for a moment and said, "Let's call it God Wind." God Wind Junior Commander Battalion, a good name. Yang Hongho immediately spoke. Ning Cheng smiled and said, "I'm going out for a stroll, you and Junior Marquis Nan can decide on the small matters of the barracks." Ning Cheng did not want to waste his time on this. He was ready to go to the Pubu Island, and then find a place to try out his twin heavenly cloud wings. If Ning Cheng did not know in advance that the Pubu Island was the place where the Jia Continent's cultivator army was stationed, he would have thought that this place was a very prosperous city. After leaving the barracks and entering the streets, everywhere he saw a crisscross of large and small streets, a variety of merchants, shops, restaurants, casinos. It was not until this time that Ning Cheng understood how difficult it was for a single person to occupy such a large junior commander mansion. This General Kong Peng Peng had spent a lot of capital on him. Ning Cheng was very interested in wandering around the shops. He sighed in his heart that when he was in the Moze city, he did not even dare to walk on the streets. Life was full of changes. At this time he was already a 5-star junior commander, leisurely walking on the streets. Unfortunately, Luofei was not by his side. If Luofei and Ruolan were here, then even if he became a cultivator in the Pubu Island, it would not be a bad thing. "Hey, it's you." A surprised voice called out from Ning Cheng's side. Ning Cheng turned around and saw an acquaintance, moreover it was not just one. The one who recognized Ning Cheng was a short man, with the cultivation of early-stage essence-building realm. Ning Cheng had met him once in the Angry Axe Valley. The woman beside this short man, Ning Cheng was very familiar with her. It was Yong Guyun from the Clear Heart Academy. This woman was very good at mixing around, initially from the Clear Heart 3-star Academy to the Falling Star 5-star Academy, and then from the 5-star Academy to the Jia Continent's Celestial Globe 7-star Academy. As for the short man next to her, needless to say, he was also a disciple of the Celestial Globe 7-star Academy. At this time he was wearing the uniform of the Jia Continent's cultivator army. It was obvious that he had already become a cultivator soldier of the Jia Continent. From the badge on his shoulder, Ning Cheng knew that this person was called Lao Sheng, and was now a 2-star second lieutenant. Although Ning Cheng was not very interested in the Jia Continent's cultivator army, but he had stayed in the cultivator army for a long time, and was also aware of some of the officer ranks. When ordinary cultivator soldiers first joined, their epaulets didn't have stars. Only with a certain amount of battle merits could one be promoted to a crimson 1-star soldier. After that was the orange 2-star second lieutenant, followed by the yellow 3-star senior captain. After them were the green 4-star junior marquis and green 4-star senior marquis. The 5-star ones were the junior commander and senior commander, all of whom had cyan epaulets. After reaching 6 stars, one would be a blue commander, such as Kong Peng Peng. Lao Sheng was only a 2-star second lieutenant, compared to him who was a 5-star junior commander. The disparity was too far. Moreover, Ning Cheng could guess why Lao Sheng, a disciple of a 7-star academy, would want to join the Jia continent's cultivator army. This person definitely came here for the Law's Way. After the quota for the Law's Way was redistributed, the Yixing Ocean took away 400 people. The remaining 600 people were divided among the 9 continents cultivator army and divided into 300 people. As for the rest of the 9 continents academies, they only added up to 300 people. This Lao Sheng was definitely not able to get a quota from his academy. As such, he thought of a way to join the cultivator army, the purpose of which was just to get a quota. You did not die. Lao Sheng looked at Ning Cheng with a puzzled expression, as he spoke again in a somewhat disbelieving manner. If Ning Cheng had worn his military uniform, then it was estimated that Lao Sheng would not dare to speak to Ning Cheng in such a tone. Yong Guyun's expression was very strange, as such he did not know what she was thinking in her heart. She could not see Ning Cheng's cultivation, but she had a feeling that every time she saw Ning Cheng's cultivation seemed to be different. Ning Cheng did not care about Lao Sheng. He was not even afraid of that person surnamed Kong from the Celestial Globe 7-Star Academy, so why would he care about a small Lao Sheng? His eyes were fixed on Yong Guyun. Ning Cheng, you really have a lot of courage. In the Pubu Island there is an officer who speaks to you. You should have respectfully saluted him. You look at people so rudely. Do you want to go to jail in the Pubu Island? Lao Sheng called out in a stern voice. He knew that he was not Ning Cheng's opponent, and only dared to use his mouth. Moreover, he also knew that Ning Cheng was a guy who was not afraid of the heavens or the earth. Even the most important disciple of the Red Heaven Academy did not hesitate to kill him. In case Ning Cheng did not care about the consequences and killed him, even if Ning Cheng turned into ashes afterwards, he would not be able to come back to life. Shut up. If you dare to speak another word, then I will slap you into ashes. After Ning Cheng swept a glance at Lao Sheng, his eyes once again stared at Yong Guyun. Lao Sheng secretly shuddered, and did not dare to speak again. Yong Guyun seeing Ning Cheng staring at her, Lao Sheng did not dare to speak anymore, and could only give a salute and spoke in a trembling voice, "Greetings, Senior Apprentice Brother Ning." Ning Cheng spoke in a sarcastic tone, "Do not paste gold on your face. When did I become your senior apprentice brother? I do not dare to make friends with a Ms. Perfect like you. Since I met you today, I just happened to want to ask you one thing. After coming out of the Angry Axe Valley, where are Tsang Shua, Yuing, and the others now?" Yong Guyun did not know what Ning Cheng meant by the Ms. Perfect like him, and quickly spoke. They did not stay in the Jia continent for long, before they were picked up by the people from the Wu Nian Academy. Ning Cheng, on hearing that Yuing and the others were all right, felt relieved in his heart. He was too lazy to pay any attention to these 2 people, and continued to stroll around the streets. Seeing that Ning Cheng did not do anything to him, Lao Sheng felt relieved. But he immediately spoke in a very unhappy tone. "Even after coming to the Pubu Island, he still dares to be so arrogant. I will definitely make him look good." Yong Guyun hesitated for a moment and spoke, "Senior Apprentice Brother Lao, I think that this Ning Cheng is not that simple. Let's not provoke him." Yong Guyun was the most unhappy with Ning Cheng, but after experiencing several things, she suddenly found that no matter how unhappy she was with Ning Cheng, he was not only living well, but his cultivation was also getting higher and higher. Since coming out of the Angry Axe Valley, Yong Guyun had an indescribable fear in her heart towards Ning Cheng. "Don't provoke him. This is the Pubu Island. I want him to know the consequences of offending a 2-star second lieutenant in the Pubu Island." Lao Sheng stared at Ning Cheng's back and spoke with a hateful tone. Yong Guyun knew Lao Sheng's temper, and did not dare to say anything. But her eyes were somewhat wandering, although she had joined the Celestial Globe 7-Star Academy, but she found that it was not what she wanted. She did not have the time to cultivate, nor did she have the joy of becoming a disciple of a 7-Star Academy. Now wherever Lao Sheng went, she had to follow him. If not for the excuse that she had not reached the true condensation realm, perhaps she would have already been taken by Lao Sheng. "Hey!" Lao Sheng suddenly gave out a cry. "Why don't we go and find General Lao?" Yong Guyun recovered, and quickly gave a suggestion without any substance. Lao Sheng quickly waved his hands and said, "Why would I need my uncle for such a small matter? If I can't even handle such a small matter, then my uncle might doubt whether it was the right decision to give me the quota." I saw Junior Marquis Duan, just in front. It really is Junior Marquis Duan. Yong Guyun quickly said. After Lao Sheng joined the cultivator army, his residence and everything else were all arranged by that Junior Marquis Duan. "Let's go, I'll go and find Junior Marquis Duan for help." Junior Marquis Duan is one of the 4 Marquis battalions under my uncle, and is also a profound congealing cultivator. To deal with that Ning Cheng, wouldn't it be as simple as pinching an ant? Ha, I want to see how he kneels down and begs for mercy. Lao Sheng laughed, completely forgetting that when Ning Cheng had berated him a moment ago, he had that kind of grandson-like expression on his face. Ning Cheng also stopped. He saw a pet beast in front of a pet beast stall. To be exact, it should be a gray puppy that was only the size of 2 palms. It was gray and very ugly to look at, but this puppy gave Ning Cheng a very strange feeling. This puppy seemed to be staring at him, moreover its eyes were pitiful, with some longing and pleading in its eyes. The puppy had a pitiful expression, but Ning Cheng could understand it. In the Pubu Island, almost everyone had a pet beast, and some people even had a pet beast that could help them in fighting. However, once the pet beast fell out of favor, it would immediately be discarded or sold. Once the pet beast was discarded or sold, it would soon become a meal for the ordinary cultivators. But what Ning Cheng could not understand was, there were so many people coming and going on the street, why was this puppy staring at him? As Ning Cheng walked towards the pet stall, a very strong cultivator officer squatted down, and used his hand to stroke the lower part of the pet. The puppy let out a yelp and subconsciously took a few steps back. Unfortunately, the cage restricted its path of retreat. Hey, it's quite conscious, I want this puppy. This cultivator officer laughed, but he was even more interested in this gray puppy. The puppy made a very strange sound. Ning Cheng felt that this cry was not like a puppy at all. When it heard that this strong-looking man wanted to buy it, it began to bark incessantly, and its voice was filled with anxiety and uneasiness. Ning Cheng noticed that when this puppy was barking, it was still looking at him with longing in its eyes, as if it wanted him to buy it. Ning Cheng suddenly thought of Ruolan. If he had the opportunity to return to Earth in the future, then bringing this pet dog to Ruolan would not be a bad idea. Thinking of this, he also walked over, and said to the owner of the pet beach who had not yet spoken the price, "I want to buy this dog, what's the price?" The strong-looking cultivator officer suddenly stood up, stared at Ning Cheng and shouted, "Are you blind? Did you not see that this junior marquis came first?" Chapter 182. The words of this profound congealing junior marquis were suddenly cut off like a stream of water, and came to an abrupt end. Not only did he see Ning Cheng, but he also knew Ning Cheng. Lao Sheng, who had just arrived at the Pubu Island, did not know about Ning Cheng's deeds, but among the upper echelons of the cultivators and military officers on the Pubu Island, many of them already knew about Ning Cheng's deeds. Ning Cheng killed an aristocrat from the Yixing Ocean, and seized a black-silver warship. Then he used this black-silver warship to return to the Hua continent, and killed 8 profound core cultivators one after another, completely annihilating the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army that had invaded the Hua continent. As for whether or not Ning Cheng had really killed 8 profound core cultivators, it was not important at all. What was more important was that after Ning Cheng returned to the Pubu Island, he had already become a 5-star junior commander of the Yizheng battalion. Whether it was from an official position, or from any other place, a junior marquis with the cultivation of profound congealing realm could only act like a grandson in front of Ning Cheng. "Am I blind, or are you blind?" Ning Cheng stared at the profound congealing cultivator in front of him and coldly asked. He had originally intended to bid against this profound congealing cultivator, but he did not expect that this fellow would touch a 3-feet-high wall. This profound congealing cultivator immediately broke out in a cold sweat. He believed that Ning Cheng's story would not be completely false. Not to mention that Ning Cheng had killed a profound core cultivator, but the fact that Ning Cheng had killed that profound congealing cultivator from the Yixing Ocean was seen by many people. It was simply impossible for so many people to be lying. Even if this was fake, General Kong Peng Peng's love for Junior Commander Ning was not fake. So it was young Commander Ning. I was blind, I was blind. Young master wants to buy a pet beast. Young master, come and pick one. Although this profound congealing cultivator looked like a big man, but after knowing Ning Cheng's origins, he immediately reverted back to his grandson's appearance, and was incomparably fast. Ning Cheng did not pay any attention to this person. There were many of these people in the Pubu Island. He picked up the cage containing the puppy and asked, "What's the price?" 10 low-grade spirit stones. The stall owner spoke up with some fear in his voice. He saw a 4-star junior marquis officer acting like a grandson in front of Ning Cheng, and even spoke to Ning Cheng, causing him to feel somewhat nervous. Lao Sheng, who had rushed over, was dumbfounded when he saw the scene before him. He was prepared to use young Marquis Duan to help him vent his anger, but he didn't expect young Marquis Duan to be like a grandson in front of him. Moreover, listening to Junior Marquis Duan's words, it seems that this Ning Cheng is already a junior commander. Since he came out from the Angry Axe Valley, how much time had passed? How did this fellow advance so quickly? Yong Gu-yun's complexion once again changed. Even if she was a smooth talker, she had never thought that Ning Cheng would actually become a junior commander of the cultivator army. Her premonition was not wrong. Every time she thought that Ning Cheng would be trampled under their feet, the fact was that she would be the one being trampled on. Looking at Lao Sheng calling out in a low voice, as he turned around and walked away with his tail between his legs, Yong Guyun suddenly had a strong impulse to go forward and make friends with this trash spiritual root Ning Cheng. What did it matter to sleep with a woman like Su Zhu? As long as it could help her, it would be beneficial to her, it was worth it. However, she also knew that Ning Cheng would not care about her, and could only give out a sigh before turning around and leaving. Ning Cheng knew that Lao Sheng would come, but he did not care about Lao Sheng, a mere 2-star second lieutenant. He had already taken out 10 low-grade spirit stones to buy the puppy, and the first time he bought the puppy, Ning Cheng immediately removed the puppy's cage. This pet beast looks docile, but in fact it is very fierce. You must not remove the cage. The stall owner saw Ning Cheng casually open the cage, and quickly reminded Ning Cheng. But he found that the fierce pet beast, after removing the cage, was still entangled around Ning Cheng's feet, causing him to suddenly be unable to continue speaking. Ning Cheng just smiled. When he left, the gray puppy was still following him, and even looked left and right, with a very proud expression on its face. After strolling around for half a day, Ning Cheng, in addition to buying a spiritual beast bag from a shop, did not buy anything else. As for a flight-type magical weapon, he had already chosen a low-grade spiritual artifact flying shuttle from the spoils of war from the Golden Core Realm cultivator. As for the other things, he already had them, as such he did not need to buy them. Buying the spiritual beast bag was entirely for the sake of storing the small gray puppy. Ning Cheng was also planning to buy some dry food for the small gray puppy to eat, but what he did not expect was that the small gray puppy did not eat dry food, nor did it eat meat. Instead, he gave it a chi recovery pill, which it immediately swallowed in excitement. Could it be that this dog knows that I am a Tier 1 ordinary pill master? That's why you came with me. In any case, Ning Cheng knew that a puppy that only knew how to eat pills should not be an ordinary dog. Ning Cheng originally wanted to go out and try out his twin heavenly cloud wings, but seeing the state of alert around the Pubu Island, he immediately dispelled this idea. The twin heavenly cloud wings were not like other things. Once it was discovered by someone, then it could be snatched away. Moreover, Ning Cheng did not dare to go to the depths of the Yixing Ocean to try it out. In the depths of the Yixing Ocean, there were many high-level monstrous beasts everywhere. Once he encountered a high-leveled monstrous beast, not to mention testing the twin heavenly cloud wings, even he himself would end up as a meal for the high-leveled monstrous beast. After returning to his junior commander mansion, Ning Cheng did not care about Nan Yuefang and Yang Honghua, as he continued to go into seclusion to refine pills. Ning Qing chose to go into seclusion for alchemy, but it was also a helpless move. The Pubu Island was the place where the Jia continent's cultivator army was stationed, as such there were too many experts here. He did not dare to cultivate to his heart's content. Once he cultivated here, even if he did not arrange a spiritual gathering array, someone would soon notice it. For the next 3 months, Ning Qing continued to refine Tier 1 pills and Tier 2 pills. After 3 months, he was already able to refine Tier 3 pills. Ning Qing was now able to refine Tier 1 and Tier 2 pills, as such he did not need to use any pill arts. During these 3 months, the most comfortable thing was the little gray puppy, as it could freely eat all kinds of pills. Although this fellow had eaten so many pills, it did not even grow a little, it was still as small as before, but its eyes were getting brighter and brighter, while its belly was getting rounder and rounder. Ning Qing simply gave it a name, Grey Toot Toot. Ning Qing knew that there was still some time before the law's way opened, so he was ready to go into seclusion until he could refine Tier 3 pills without using any pill arts. At this time, Yang Honghua sent a message. Yang Honghua knew that he was in seclusion. If it was not a particularly urgent matter, then he would absolutely not take the initiative to call him out. After Ning Qing came out, he came to know that Nan Yuefang was injured. Not only was she injured, but her injuries were also not light, even the black-silver warship was taken away. Did the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army attack again? This was Ning Cheng's first reaction. Nan Yuefang was on the Pubu Island, and was a member of the Jia continent's cultivator army. For her to be injured, other than the cultivators from the Yixing Ocean, there should not be anyone else. No, it was the Chang Battle Battalion's junior Marquis Wei Peng who challenged and injured him. Moreover, he also won Junior Marquis Nan's black-silver warship. Yang Honghua quickly spoke from the side. Ning Cheng's eyebrows pricked up, as he frowned and asked, the Pubu Island is filled with the Jia continent's cultivator army, moreover can we still challenge and snatch things? He even injured people. Yang Honghua quickly spoke, that's right. Not only in the Pubu Island, but also in all the cultivator armies of the 9 continents, they can also challenge each other in the form of gambling on the dueling platform. However, there was also a rule, and that was that those with higher cultivation could not challenge those with lower cultivation. Only those with lower cultivation could challenge those of the same or higher cultivation. Furthermore, as long as the opponent's foundation and life were not harmed during the challenge, it would not be against the rules. Those with high cultivation can refuse the challenge. That Chang Battle Battalion's Wei Peng challenged Nan Yuefang just for our black-silver warship? Yes, after we got the black-silver warship, our harvest from the sea has increased dramatically. In the past 3 months, our Divine Wind Junior Commander Battalion's income has been the highest, which has already attracted the greed of other battalions. That Wei Peng's origin is not ordinary. He is the junior marquis of the Chang Battle Battalion, one of the 3 major battle battalions. The status of the Chang Battle Battalion is higher than that of the Yi Battalion. Ordinary battalions do not dare to provoke them. 3 great battalions? Ning Qing had never had a detailed understanding of the Jia continent's cultivator army. Now that he heard Yang Honghua speak about the 3 battalions, he did not know about them. Yang Honghua patiently explained, the cultivator army stationed on the Pubu Island has 10 battalions, of which the 1st battalion is called the Control Battalion. Next were the 3 main battle camps, Zhanji Camp, Zhanchang Camp, and Zhankai Camp. Next are the 6 Yi battalions, Yizheng Battalion, Yihai Battalion, Yiming Battalion, Yifei Battalion, Yian Battalion and Yiqing Battalion. If that is the case, then why did Nan Yuefang accept the challenge? That Wei Peng said that young Marquis Nan was able to obtain your black-silver warship because he slept with you. Young Marquis Nan was immediately goaded into accepting the challenge. Ning Qing calmly nodded and spoke, I know, you go and issue a challenge to that Wei Peng of the Chang Battle Battalion, and say that my junior commander Ning Qing of the Yizheng Battalion wants to challenge him. My cultivation is only at the essence-building realm, and is far inferior to him. Challenging him should be within the rules. Junior Commander, do you want to challenge Wei Peng? That Wei Peng already has the cultivation of profound congealing 5th level. Yang Honghua asked in shock, No one was more familiar with Ning Qing than him. Since the start of the war, he had been following Ning Qing. With Ning Cheng's strength, he could easily defeat an early-stage profound congealing cultivator, but Wei Peng was already at profound congealing 5th level. How could he challenge him? Don't look at the rumors on the outside that Ning Cheng had killed 7 profound core cultivators. Yang Honghua was very clear about the whole process. To be exact, it was 5 profound core cultivators who were killed by Ning Cheng's hidden chain killing array and the other 3 profound core cultivators who had joined forces to ambush them. Ning Cheng did not attack them head-on, but instead was injured several times. From the situation that he had obtained, his junior commander should not be a match for a profound congealing 5th level cultivator. Ning Cheng patted Yang Honghua's shoulder and said, "You don't have to worry about it. I will soon go to the Lu continent to walk through the law's way. After this war, you will serve as our Divine Wind Junior Commander Battalion's 3-star senior captain." When Yang Honghua heard Ning Cheng's promise, he was both excited and expectant in his heart, but also somewhat worried. He was excited because although he had not been with Ning Cheng for a long time, his military rank was just like the speed of the Black-Silver warship, and was constantly rising. He was worried that Ning Cheng would challenge the profound congealing 5th level Wei Peng. Once he lost, not only would Ning Cheng be destroyed, but the entire Divine Wind Battalion, even the Yizheng Battalion would also be destroyed. He, Yang Honghua, would once again return to the past. Although he was worried in his heart, Yang Honghua still hurried to help Ning Cheng with the letter of challenge. For the cultivators of the cultivator army, obeying orders was the first military order. The newly promoted essence-building 4th-level junior commander Ning Cheng of the Yizheng Battalion was now going to challenge the Chang War Battalion's profound congealing 5th-level junior Marquis Wei Peng. This matter was just like a gust of wind, and in just a short period of time, it spread throughout the entire Pubu Island. Almost all the cultivators who received the news immediately rushed to the Pubu Island's cultivator army's dual Grand Plaza. Chapter 183. What? Did you say that this junior commander Ning really dares to challenge me? In one of the Chang Battle Battalion's junior marquee mansion, a middle-aged man wearing a luxurious robe stood up in disbelief, and spoke with a slightly excited tone. This middle-aged man had blue hair, thick lips and small ears. He was one of the 3 major battalions, the Chang Battle Battalion's 4-star junior marquis, with the cultivation of profound congealing 5th-level Wei Peng. He was also the one who had challenged Nan Yuefang, and snatched away the Black-Silver warship. Yes, junior marquis, this is the letter of challenge. Below this man, a voluptuous female cultivator took out the letter of challenge sent by Yang Honghua, and respectfully handed it over to Wei Peng with both hands. Wei Peng first tore open the letter of challenge, as he casually glanced at it, and threw it to the side, as he laughed and said, "Such courage, he can deceive others about the things he did in the Hua continent, but he did not give it to me, Wei Peng." Initially when he fought with that Yixing Ocean's profound congealing cultivator, I had seen the scene. He had completely relied on restraining the opponent's magical weapon to win, otherwise even if it was an early-stage profound congealing cultivator, he would not have been able to beat him, yet he actually dared to challenge me, Wei Peng. But he only dared to challenge me in an ordinary way. What an ignorant fellow. After Wei Peng laughed, he suddenly said, "Go and call that Lao Sheng. Second Lieutenant Lao and his friends are already waiting outside, they can come in at any time." This voluptuous female cultivator quickly spoke. Good, you are getting more and more satisfied with your work, I will reward you well in the evening." Wei Peng smiled. As he walked to the side of this voluptuous female cultivator, he reached out and pinched her buttocks. "Go and call them here." "Yes." That female cultivator withdrew without any expression. It was as if Wei Peng had not pinched her a moment ago. After a moment, Lao Xing came in with Yong Guyun. Lao Xing on seeing Wei Peng quickly bowed and saluted. "Yi Hai Battalion's Lao Xing greets Junior Marquis Wei. Second Lieutenant Lao does not need to be so polite. Who is this?" Wei Peng's eyes shined as he stared at Yong Guyun beside Lao Xing. There were not many beautiful women in the Pubu Island, even Nan Yuefang whom he had been coveting for a long time, even her looks were not that good. The only thing that made him feel unbearable in his heart was that Nan Yuefang's body was simply too wonderful, but sooner or later she would be his bosom. However, the woman that Lao Xing brought made his eyes light up. How could Lao Xing not know the meaning behind Wei Peng's words? He himself was not afraid of Wei Peng, but this time he wanted to use Wei Peng to get rid of Ning Cheng. As such, he had no choice but to humbly ask for help from others. Yong Guyun, on hearing Wei Peng's question, quickly bowed and spoke. This disciple is Yong Guyun of the Celestial Globe 7-Star Academy. Hearing that Yong Guyun was from a 7-star academy, Wei Peng suddenly became somewhat uncertain in his heart. If Yong Guyun had a soul essence boss behind her, then he would not be able to make a move against her. Moreover, if this woman belonged to Lao Sheng and Lao Sheng was unwilling to give her to him, there was nothing he could do. This Lao Sheng's background was not small, not inferior to his. In terms of relationship, Lao Sheng was the nephew of the Yi Hai Battalion commander Lao Yu. He was only favored by the commander of the Battle Chang Battalion, Ni Gang. Suppressing the restlessness in his heart towards Yong Guyun, Wei Peng chuckled and said, "Second Lieutenant Lao, please sit down. I called Second Lieutenant Lao over just to confirm a matter with Second Lieutenant Lao. By the way, you should know that Ning Cheng challenged me, right?" Lao Sheng obviously already knew about this matter. This matter was planned by him. How could he not know about Ning Cheng's actions? He suppressed the excitement in his heart and spoke in a respectful voice, that Ning Cheng overestimates himself. With just a trivial intermediate stage essence building cultivator, he also dares to challenge Junior Marquis Wei. Wei Peng faintly smiled. "You can't say that Ning Cheng at least killed a profound congealing cultivator. This matter is something that a lot of people have seen with their own eyes. For me to accept Ning Cheng's challenge, it is also risky." Lao Sheng was anxious in his heart and quickly said, "Ning Cheng from the Qi gathering realm to the intermediate stage essence building realm, from start to finish, he absolutely did not take more than 3 years. This person definitely has a big secret." Wei Peng spoke in a non-committal manner. It is not impossible for someone to advance from the Qi gathering realm to the essence building realm in 3 to 5 years. I have seen it before. But that Ning Cheng's qualifications are extremely poor. Gu Yun and he had known each other for a long time. Initially in the Ping continent, his cultivation was not as good as Gu Yun's. Gu Yun is now still in the Qi gathering realm, but that Ning Cheng unexpectedly is already in the essence building realm. This is completely abnormal. Lao Sheng anxiously said. Yong Guyun secretly sighed in her heart that Lao Sheng was an idiot, but unfortunately, she could only climb up to this idiot. So she said, "Whether that Ning Cheng is concealing his cultivation or not, I am not very clear about it, but I heard that he has a very powerful concealment cultivation method. Perhaps he was already an essence-building cultivator in the Ping continent. But because he was concealing his cultivation, I was not able to see it." Wei Peng showed a faint smile and said, "Even if he is concealing his cultivation, he is only at the intermediate stage essence-building realm. In my eyes he is just a piece of cake." Saying that, he looked at Lao Sheng and said, "Second Lieutenant Lao, do not worry. Even if I have to take a certain risk, I will definitely kill that Ning Cheng. But as for Ning Cheng's things," Lao Sheng said in his heart, "wasn't this already agreed upon? If Ning Cheng had something, then he would take 10%, while Wei Peng would take 90%. If there was a cultivation method, then the two of them could just share it. Why did Wei Peng still bring up this matter?" But Lao Sheng quickly understood what was going on, as Wei Peng's eyes swept towards Yong Guyun from time to time. Compared to Ning Cheng's cultivation method, what was Yong Guyun? How many beautiful women were there? Moreover, Yong Guyun was simply not outstanding compared to the other women from the Hua continent. That Meng Yujing was many times more beautiful than Yong Guyun, and there was also that Yuing. This thought just turned a little, and then he said, "The Law's Way is about to open. I want to go to the Law's Way, but my second lieutenant's residence is very simple and crude. I would like to ask Junior Marquis for one thing. It is not very safe for Guyun to stay in my second lieutenant's mansion. I would like to ask Junior Marquis to vacate a place in the Junior Marquis mansion for Guyun to stay." Yong Guyun's heart was filled with sorrow. If she could really climb up to this Junior Marquis Wei, then it would have been fine. But she was such a shrewd woman, how could she not see that in the eyes of this Junior Marquis Wei, there was only a naked desire? This was a clear indication that if she played with him, then she would definitely lose him. Junior Marquis Wei will definitely go to the law's way. I will be very safe staying in the Pubu Island. If you are not assured, I can go back to the Celestial Globe Academy. Yong Guyun's words had not yet finished, when she was interrupted by Wei Peng's loud laughter. Ha, younger sister Guyun does not have to worry. My Junior Marquis mansion is very big. Even if I am not here, you can also live here with peace of mind. When Wei Peng heard Lao Xing's words, he was very clear that Yong Guyun did not have any backing. As such, he felt relieved in his heart and spoke, so that's how it is. After I and Ning Qing have a duel, you can stay here tonight. Now, you can come with me to the dueling plaza, and see how I kill this Junior Marquis Ning. Ha! Nan Yuefang was just able to walk, as she hurriedly ran to the Pubu Island's dueling plaza. After she got the news, the first thing she wanted to do was to stop Ning Qing. Wei Peng was definitely not an ordinary profound congealing 5th level. If he was an ordinary profound congealing 5th level cultivator, then she would not have lost. Even if Ning Qing wanted to fight, she had to tell Ning Qing about Wei Peng's trump card. Unfortunately, when she arrived at the dueling plaza, she only saw Yang Honghua. But Ning Qing was already standing on the dueling platform, and was walking around on the platform. Nan Yuefang sighed. Ning Qing certainly had not participated in this kind of duel. In general, in a duel, the one who came on stage later would certainly have a bigger psychological advantage. The earlier one came on stage, the more anxious they would be, and a part of their fighting spirit would unknowingly be worn down. At this time, Ning Qing was constantly walking around on the platform. It was obvious that he was impatient. The dueling plaza was already filled with people. The duel was far from starting, but Ning Qing had already come on stage. Moreover, he was also constantly walking around on the platform, which made some of the people who came to watch the duel to be very disappointed. This Junior Marquis Ning really did not live up to his name. Even after the time it took for an incense stick to burn, Ning Qing unexpectedly was not in a hurry, and was still leisurely walking around on the dueling platform. Some of the people were already whispering, if Wei Peng did not come, then Ning Qing's walking around would have made a lot of sense. This walking around was not anxious, but rather a provocation. The people's discussions did not last long, when the sound of Wei Peng's laughter arrived before him. Wei Peng arrived at the dueling plaza, and first flew over to the dueling platform, then stood on the dueling platform and cupped his fists towards all the people who had come to watch the duel. Then he turned to Ning Qing and said, Junior Marquis Ning, I have received your letter of challenge, and I accept your challenge. But your letter of challenge only stated that it was an ordinary challenge. Do you dare to have a life and death challenge? Of course, if you do not dare, then I will definitely leave you with your small life. After all the people in the dueling plaza heard Wei Peng's words, they immediately echoed in a loud voice, life and death challenge. It must be a life and death challenge. What is the meaning of an ordinary challenge? Ning Qing really did not know that there were two kinds of challenges, ordinary challenges and life and death challenges. He recalled Yang Honghua's words. It seemed that Yang Honghua had said that it was an ordinary challenge. This Yang Honghua unexpectedly did not tell him about the life and death challenge. Ning Qing was very dissatisfied as he stared at Yang Honghua, who was nervously watching the duel. He understood that Yang Honghua did not want him to take risks, but he at least had to tell him about the rules. What is a life and death challenge? Ning Qing understood the literal meaning, but still asked out loud. Wei Peng once again laughed. A life and death challenge is when the two of us establish a life and death contract with the cultivator army, which is to draw our names. After drawing our names, we will fight on this dueling platform, regardless of the means, regardless of the time. One of us will live, while the other will die and be carried down. Of course, if the two of us perish together, then it will also be the same. The winner will get all the things of the loser, while at the same time both sides will not have to bear any responsibility. Ning Qing gave a light smile. I did not know that there was such a good thing. Since there is such a good thing, then of course it would be a life and death challenge. Good, Junior Marquis Ning really has a heroic spirit. Such being the case, then I will draw my name first. As Wei Peng spoke, he immediately flew up, and landed on the white jade card on the right side of the dueling platform, as he gathered his true essence and wrote the 2 words Wei Peng on it. Ning Qing saw that the white jade card on the left side was also empty, and immediately understood what was going on. He did not hesitate to fly up and landed on the white jade card on the left side, and wrote the 2 words Ning Qing. Chapter 184. Seeing Ning Cheng and Wei Peng write their names on the white jade card, all the people who came to the Grand Plaza to watch the challenge tournament immediately became excited. They originally thought that this was just an ordinary challenge. The people who came wanted to see if this new young master was really as powerful as the rumors said. Who would have thought that the 2 of them would have a duel to the death? What could be more exciting than watching a duel to the death? A junior marquis and a junior commander engaged in a life-and-death duel. This kind of thing had not happened in the Pubu Island for a long time. Young Commander Ning, your courage is indeed commendable, but you will soon understand how stupid you are. Nan Yuefang, this woman, you should not have had the time to sleep with her. After you die, I will definitely help you. After Wei Peng saw Ning Cheng's name, he could no longer restrain the excitement in his voice. Although he was talking about Nan Yuefang in his mouth, but in his heart he was actually thinking about whether or not Ning Cheng had really advanced from the Qi-gathering realm to the essence-building realm in just 3 years. If that was the case, then Junior Commander Ning's secret was not small. Although he had said to Lao Sheng that he had seen geniuses who could advance to the essence-building realm in 3 to 5 years, but he knew that there were only a few of these geniuses. Moreover, he was sure that Ning Cheng was not such a genius. Idiot! Ning Cheng cursed in disdain. The concealed killing array that he had arranged was something that even a profound core cultivator would not be able to discover in a hurry, not to mention Wei Peng, who was just a trivial profound congealing 5th-level cultivator. He had already asked Yang Honghua, and found out that the few soul essence cultivators involved in this duel were not on the Pubu Island. Among the cultivators present at the scene watching the battle, at most they were profound core cultivators. As for the soul essence cultivators who stayed on the island, they were not interested in watching a duel between 2 puny essence-building cultivators. Although he was a junior commander in the eyes of ordinary cultivators, but in the eyes of soul essence cultivators, he was just a floating cloud. Those profound core cultivators who did not understand array formations should not be able to see that he had arranged a concealed killing array. The reason why he had arrived at the dueling platform in advance when Yang Honghua had sent the letter of challenge, was because he wanted to arrange a concealed killing array. He had continuously refined the array flags for several days, and had even used hundreds of serial killing arrays to plot against several profound core cultivators, but in the face of a profound congealing cultivator who was far inferior to a profound core cultivator, Ning Qing simply could not think of any reason why he would fail. Taking 10,000 steps back, even if his hidden killing array was seen through by others, he would not be afraid at all. This was also within the rules. The rules of a life-and-death duel were that it didn't matter how long it took or how long it took. As long as the 2 challengers could kill each other in a specific place, it was fine. Therefore, as long as his concealed killing array couldn't be seen through by Wei Peng in a short period of time, it would be fine. Once he killed Wei Peng, who would care what method he used? He could only rejoice that he had continuously refined the concealment array flags for a few days, while simultaneously arranging hundreds of concealment killing arrays. Otherwise, he really wouldn't have been able to arrange the concealment killing arrays in front of everyone. By the time he activated his killing array, even if others saw through it, it would no longer matter at that time. If he did not use an array formation, then even if Ning Cheng was not afraid of death, he would not dare to casually challenge a fellow at profound congealing 6th level. Wei Peng was already anxious about Ning Cheng's ring. When he heard Ning Cheng call him an idiot, how could he continue to endure it? With a wave of his hand, an ancient halberd with an aura of vicissitudes appeared. Once this ancient halberd was brought out, with just a slight movement, it immediately rolled up a trace of murderous sounds. It was just like the sounds of a battle in an ancient battlefield. It was simply breathtaking. Ning Qing immediately knew that although they were both using halberd-type magical weapons, the quality of Wei Peng's ancient halberd was much higher than Meng Jingxiu's. You can go to hell. Wei Peng brandished his ancient halberd. Originally there was only a trace of murderous aura, but it instantly became very strong. Ning Qing felt as if he was in the middle of a bloody battlefield, as he was surrounded by murderous halberd shadows in all directions. Moreover, these murderous halberd shadows unexpectedly slowly condensed together, forming into a substantial battle spirit. At this moment, even the air around the battle ring was torn apart by the terrifying murderous halberd shadows, leaving him with nowhere to go. Ning Cheng's heart sank. He had originally intended to exchange a few moves with Wei Peng, and then open the killing array, but now it seems that his control over his true essence was far inferior to that of Wei Peng in front of him. The killing power brought out by Wei Peng's ancient halberd was too formidable. Moreover, it directly suppressed him with a crushing imposing manner, and then killed him. This was a kind of cultivation contempt. If Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness and true essence were just a little bit weaker, then he simply would not have needed to resist, and would have directly collapsed under this kind of powerful crushing imposing manner. Even now, if he could not break through the other party's terrifying slaughter aura in the shortest time possible, his mind would be seized by these slaughter battle souls, waiting for Wei Peng to easily behead him. Ning Qing did not dare to hesitate for even half a moment, as he simultaneously blasted out with his golden great axe. The golden great axe brought out a fierce golden axe light, and opened a gap in the murderous aura of Wei Peng's ancient halberd. Boom boom boom, the golden-colored axe trace and the murderous aura of Wei Peng's ancient halberd immediately clashed together. The axe trace immediately tore open a gap in the middle of Wei Peng's ancient halberd's murderous aura. Ning Qing simply did not think about it, and directly rushed out from that gap. Even if that was the case, the two powerful ancient halberd killing intents had already torn open two deep bloody scars on Ning Cheng's chest. You dare to challenge me with such little ability? Did you know that I was just warming up a moment ago? Wei Peng stared at Ning Cheng, who was holding the golden great axe in his hands, and spoke with disdain. Now it is time for me to kill. As he spoke, Wei Peng's ancient halberd once again started to roll up. At this moment for Ning Cheng, the entire battle platform was filled with the terrifying murderous aura of a battlefield. Ning Cheng's eyes became even more calm. At this time he understood that without the profound core cultivator holding him back, it would be extremely difficult for him to face a profound congealing cultivator. Fortunately, he had set up some measures in advance. Furthermore, as a safety measure, he had also set up 5 layers of hidden serial killing arrays. Otherwise, he would have died without a doubt. Whether in terms of cultivation or spiritual consciousness, he could not compare to this Wei Peng in front of him. Just as Wei Peng's ancient halberd once again swept towards him, Ning Qing immediately threw out the first array flag, activating the first killing array, while simultaneously bringing out the golden great axe in his hands in coordination with the axe light from the killing array. Before fighting with Ning Cheng, although Wei Peng did not put Ning Cheng in his eyes, but he was still somewhat afraid of him. After all, Ning Cheng had killed a profound congealing cultivator. But after exchanging a single move with Ning Cheng, he instead felt completely relieved in his heart. Ning Cheng was able to tear apart his battle soul with just a single axe. This kind of strength was indeed far beyond that of an ordinary essence-building cultivator, but compared to him, it was still somewhat lacking. He could easily crush Ning Cheng. After knowing that Ning Cheng could not be compared to him, Wei Peng's ancient halberd was completely stimulated, as one after another ancient halberd's murderous aura rumbled out. This murderous aura in just a twinkling of an eye turned into countless battle souls of an ancient battlefield, as these battle souls swarmed towards Ning Cheng. At this moment, the dueling platform had turned into an ancient battlefield. The cultivators watching the fight from below the platform were secretly horrified. No wonder Wei Peng was known as the Pubu Island's first junior marquis. This junior marquis Wei's murderous aura was simply too terrifying. The others could only see the billowing murderous aura and the endless murderous sounds rolling over the dueling platform. Perhaps they could even see Wei Peng's figure exuding a formidable imposing aura. As for that junior commander Ning, he was completely submerged in this murderous aura, without even making a single sound. Almost 90% of the cultivators watching the fight were secretly thinking that this junior commander Ning was definitely going to die. This disparity in cultivation was really something that there was no way to make up for. Nan Yuefang and Yang Honghuo were clenching their fists, as their palms were covered in sweat. They did not even dare to look at the dueling platform, but they had no choice but to look. The formidable pressure and the murderous aura almost made Ning Cheng breathless, when Ning Cheng's first killing array was finally completely stimulated. Endless axe-line killing lights abruptly appeared in the middle of this terrifying ancient battlefield. It was as if a dense drizzle had suddenly fallen on top of a burning fire. This drizzle was very small, and had no way to contain the raging flames, but this drizzle was continuous. Moreover, it was gradually becoming more and more concentrated. Although the flames were billowing, they were simply unable to withstand this endless drizzle. The endless axe-line killing lights in the middle of Ning Cheng's killing array was precisely this drizzle. The axe light was constantly tearing through these murderous battle spirits, as the dense murderous battle spirits instantly began to decrease. As the murderous attacks from the surrounding ancient halberds weakened, Ning Cheng felt his whole body relax. He immediately threw out the second array flag, and stimulated the second serial killing array, while at the same time the golden great axe in his hands rolled up a billowing vortex of axe intent as it shot out. Even if Wei Peng was even more stupid, he knew that Ning Cheng was an array formation master. Not only was he an array formation master, but he was also shameless enough to come to the dueling platform first, and arrange a serial killing array that even he himself was not aware of. Wei Peng felt the terrifying angry axe killing intent was like a tornado, as it rolled up the surrounding killing intent, forming a single point, before exploding towards him. He did not even have the time to be angry at Ning Cheng's insidiousness, as he waved his hand and called out a 10 feet tall ferocious monstrous beast. When he thought that Ning Cheng would be like a puppet in his hands, Ning Cheng unexpectedly still had such a trick up his sleeves. Because of this, he did not care about Ning Cheng's counterattack. He thought that no matter what means Ning Cheng used to block his murderous battle spirits, it would be extremely difficult. He did not expect that Ning Cheng would not only be able to block his murderous battle spirits, but he also did not even need to use his own strength. This sudden counterattack had caught him unprepared. He could only call out his companion beast to help him block Ning Cheng's great axe, while at the same time he himself had to break Ning Cheng's killing array. Aoo! This monstrous beast immediately knew that it was in danger, and immediately gave out an angry roar, as it spat out dozens of wind edges, while at the same time it also quickly retreated. Ning Cheng did not expect that this move would be able to kill Wei Peng. If Wei Peng could be killed so easily, then he would not be able to fight against Nan Yuefang. But a Class 3 monstrous beast, wanting to deal with his whirlwind, was simply looking down on him too much. Bang! The whirlwind directly swept away all the wind edges from the monstrous beast, while at the same time it solidly bombarded the head of the Class 3 monstrous beast. Blood splashed out. This incomparably tall Class 3 monstrous beast was directly decapitated by Ning Cheng's great axe. Humph, your companion beast has already killed me. I want to see how you are going to block my second halberd. Taking advantage of the gap when his companion beast was killed by Ning Cheng, Wei Peng immediately broke through Ning Cheng's first killing array. Chapter 185. Although Wei Peng's cultivation could not be compared to that of a profound core cultivator, but Ning Cheng was also aware that although he could arrange a serial killing array in such a short period of time, it could not be compared to the serial killing array that he had spent several days to arrange. Moreover, his killing array did not have anyone to help him contain it, so for Wei Peng to be able to break his first killing array in such a short period of time, Ning Cheng did not find it strange. Moreover, it was all within the scope of his calculations. After Wei Peng once again brought out his ancient halberd, the murderous aura around him immediately changed. In addition to the inexhaustible murderous aura coming from the ancient halberd suddenly exploded, turning into dozens of small halberds, trapping Ning Cheng in the middle. Ning Cheng instantly found it difficult to move. It was as if he had fallen into a quagmire, seemingly waiting for these countless small halberds to grind him into mincemeat. Once again, an inexhaustible axe-line killing light suddenly appeared. Ning Cheng's axe-line killing light immediately strangled those battle souls, causing the ancient halberd's killing light to pause for a moment. However, the dozen or so small halberds that had separated out did not seem to be affected much. Moreover, they were still able to bind the space around Ning Cheng, wanting to crush Ning Cheng into powder. Unexpectedly, it is still a serial killing array. Even if that is the case, you will still have to die for me. Wei Peng, on seeing Ning Cheng's second concealed killing array, was already aware that Ning Cheng had not arranged a single killing array. As such, he did not have the patience to continue fighting with Ning Cheng. Knowing that Ning Cheng was surrounded by more than a dozen small halberds, and would definitely die without a doubt, Wei Peng still brought out his trump card, the spiritual consciousness sound attack. Ning Cheng was trapped by more than a dozen small halberds, and was already at a disadvantage. If not for his killing array breaking the killing war soul, then perhaps he would have already died at this moment. At this time, Wei Peng once again casted out the spiritual consciousness sound attack, causing Ning Cheng's sea of consciousness to suddenly feel a sharp pain. He could feel that there were innumerable poisonous bees rushing towards his sea of consciousness, wanting to tear apart his sea of consciousness. Ning Cheng knew that he did not have many means at his disposal. At this time, bringing out the 5 elements treasure fall copper coin was the best choice, as it would allow him to escape. But Ning Cheng knew that even if he managed to escape, he would not be able to kill Wei Peng by relying on the remaining killing arrays. It would also cause him to fall into a period of weakness, allowing Wilpon to seize the opportunity. Wei Peng's cultivation was higher than his methods were more than his, and he was also going all out. If he hadn't set up 5 hidden serial killing arrays here in advance, he would have lost this battle for sure. However, if he didn't take out the 5 elements treasure fall copper coin, he would die even faster. In the face of this kind of death threat, Ning Cheng did not care about anything else. He crazily stimulated his true essence and spiritual consciousness, and brought out the 5 elements treasure fall copper coin, while simultaneously using his full strength to chop out the angry axe's third form, axe line. His sea of consciousness was originally weakened by Wei Peng's sea of consciousness sonic attack, but now that he stimulated his spiritual consciousness, he felt even more incomparably tormented. He was unexpectedly unable to simultaneously stimulate the 5 elemental treasure fall copper coin and the axe line killing move. Ning Cheng was anxious in his heart. If he could not stimulate his magical weapon, then he could only wait for death. The more anxious he was, the calmer Ning Cheng was, the more he crazily stimulated his sea of consciousness. As for the aftereffects, he completely ignored them. He had already lost his life, so what repercussions were there to talk about? His sea of consciousness, under the crazy stimulation of Ning Cheng's terrifying power, suddenly turned cold. That kind of killing sound that could tear apart one's sea of consciousness seemed to have disappeared in a flash, causing Ning Cheng to feel overjoyed. He immediately knew that this was the help of the mysterious yellow origin. The mysterious yellow bead was originally located in his Zifu. Now that his sea of consciousness was attacked, it was equivalent to his Zifu being attacked. As such, the mysterious yellow origin naturally began to nourish his injured sea of consciousness. How could Ning Cheng let go of such an opportunity, as he crazily stimulated his true essence and spiritual consciousness? An incomparably huge copper coin directly swept away the dozen or so small halberds that were surrounding Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng suddenly felt his whole body loosen up. He simultaneously threw out the remaining array flags, and after activating the remaining killing arrays, he directly used a concealment method on himself, as he waved his twin heavenly cloud wings. At this time, even if the twin heavenly cloud wings were discovered, he could not care about it anymore. It was more important to save his own life. Ning Cheng believed that in this kind of billowing murderous aura on the dueling platform, coupled with the concealment method, the only one who would be able to discover his twin heavenly cloud wings was Wei Peng. Unless there was a soul essence cultivator or a top-level profound core cultivator here. 5 elements treasure fall copper coin, twin heavenly cloud wings. Wei Peng was so excited that his whole body was trembling. Ning Cheng unexpectedly had so many good things. If all of them were to belong to him, then wouldn't his battle prowess more than double? But all of these things would soon become his, as long as he killed Ning Cheng. Wei Peng's hands continuously formed a variety of techniques, as the dozen or so small halberds that were swept away by the 5 elements treasure fall copper coin once again transformed into a huge ancient halberd. He had to kill Ning Cheng in the shortest possible time. He also had the same thoughts as Ning Cheng, as the twin heavenly cloud wings, other than him, no one else was able to discover it. He could not let Ning Cheng once again use the twin heavenly cloud wings. After he killed Ning Cheng, he would take away Ning Cheng's corpse, who would know that he had the twin heavenly cloud wings. Ning Cheng just carefully waved the twin heavenly cloud wings, and his whole body immediately became light, as he immediately broke away from the crazy siege of the killing battle souls. Ning Cheng did not have the time to rejoice in the heaven-defying nature of his twin heavenly cloud wings. He was very clear that this was the only opportunity for him to kill Wei Peng. Once he missed it, then there would not be a better opportunity than this. The remaining 3 killing arrays were simultaneously stimulated by Ning Cheng, as Ning Cheng crazily burned his essence, blood and spiritual consciousness. Stimulating the 5 elements treasure fall copper coin at this time showed its weakness, but Ning Cheng did not have any other choice. Wei Peng had just retracted his ancient halberd, and was ready to give Ning Cheng a fatal blow, when he felt the axe line killing lights around him becoming more and more concentrated. Son of a bitch, he absolutely had a huge fortuitous encounter. The level of his array formation is unexpectedly so good. This killing array is not just 2 layers, there is even a 3rd layer. Wei Peng cursed in a hateful voice, and was just about to quickly break the array, when he suddenly felt that something was wrong. The axe line killing intent in this killing array seemed to be different from the previous 2 killing arrays. But it was filled with a kind of incomparably violent aura. It even made him feel upset. In addition to this violent aura, there was also a kind of bloody aura. Not good, this guy wanted to blow up the array formation. Wei Peng had just thought of this point, when he felt that the surrounding space seemed to have been completely destroyed at this moment. An extremely terrible explosion sound erupted from his body. The explosion of a level 3 array formation was enough to seriously injure or even kill an early-stage profound congealing cultivator, but with 3 consecutive killing arrays exploding, even if it was Wei Peng, he would not be able to escape. Boom 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 boom. The sound of the violent explosion seemed to have caused the entire space to tremble. Moreover, the dueling platform under his feet also had a small crack on it. The array flags arranged by Ning Cheng, under this kind of terrible explosion, were directly turned into flying ash. Where was there even half a trace of them? Wei Peng at this time could only do one thing. He crazily revolved his true essence, stimulating the ancient halberd in his hands, trying to block a part of the destructive power of the explosion from the killing arrays. The cultivators watching the fight from below the dueling platform were also shocked. Even if it was a fight between 2 profound congealing cultivators, it would not cause such a terrible situation, right? What the hell was going on? Ning Cheng and Wei Peng's duel from the very beginning was filled with endless waves of killing battle spirits, as well as the dense axe lines of the killing arrays. Towards the end, the sound of the explosion was unceasing. Everyone could only see the shadows of the 2 people fighting fiercely through their spiritual consciousness. But now, such a loud explosion sound had erupted. Was this a duel, or were they using the spirit stone cannons? Wei Peng did not even have the time to be angry. He knew that the explosion from the killing arrays would not be able to kill him, but it was inevitable that he would be seriously injured. Just when he decided to break away from the killing arrays, and turn Ning Cheng's bones to ashes, a feeling of death welled up in his heart. A golden axe line split open the edge of the explosion from the killing arrays, as it tore through the air. In just a blink of an eye, it had already cut through the middle of the distance, as it arrived in between Wei Peng's eyebrows. Wei Peng did not need to guess. He knew that this was definitely Ning Cheng's sneak attack. He did not have time to block the continuous explosion of the killing arrays. As he crazily brought out his ancient halberd, he had to block this axe. As long as he waited for the explosion of the killing arrays to pass, he would be able to slowly recover. Once he recovered, it would be the time for Ning Cheng to die. Boom! The angry axe's first trace was a terrifying golden axe trace that was filled with Ning Cheng's violent angry axe killing intent, as it collided with Wei Peng's ancient halberd. But Wei Peng could clearly feel that Ning Cheng's true essence had more than doubled. He even regretted using his full strength to block Ning Cheng's axe. Sure enough, this thought had just flashed through Wei Peng's mind, when the explosion from the killing arrays erupted with a formidable killing light. This killing light directly blasted through his chest, causing a bloody hole to appear on his chest. Wei Peng also felt a burst of weakness. He knew that the power of the explosion from the killing arrays had passed, but at the same time, a huge fist blasted towards him. When Ning Qing brought out the 5 elements treasure fall copper coin and stimulated the killing arrays to explode, he was already very weak. But he knew that even if his foundation was destroyed today, he must first kill Wei Peng. When the angry axe's first trace seriously injured Wei Peng, Ning Qing once again disregarded his foundation and crazily stimulated his true essence, as he blasted out an axe fist. Wei Peng did not think that Ning Cheng's tenacity would be this strong. With that axe a moment ago, he could clearly feel that Ning Cheng was an arrow at the end of its flight. An arrow at the end of its flight, but at this time he was still able to blast out such a terrifying punch. Wei Peng, who was also very weak, could only move his head to the side in time. Bang! This punch directly hit Wei Peng's chin, although Wei Peng was powerful, but in the end he was just a mortal. A bloody light burst out, as Wei Peng's huge head was directly blasted into a bloody fog by Ning Cheng's punch. Ning Cheng, plop, fell to the ground. Even if his whole body was extremely weak, he still immediately put away the 5 elements treasure fall copper coin and Wei Peng's ancient halberd, while simultaneously taking away Wei Peng's ring. The duel platform was completely silent. The results of the duel had already come out. It seemed that Junior Marquis Wei had the upper hand, but the final winner unexpectedly turned out to be Junior Commander Ning. Not only did he win, but he also directly killed Junior Marquis Wei. The silence was only for a moment, when the entire Grand Plaza instantly erupted with bursts of cheers and shouts. The cultivators of the army were also soldiers, and had a kind of hot-bloodedness in their bones, which could not be erased. There were no losers here, even if it was the Pubu Island's first junior marquis, so what? The dead first junior marquis was not. Seeing Ning Qing sitting on the duel platform, and not even able to get off the platform, Nan Yuefang and Yang Honghua immediately sobered up, as they excitedly rushed onto the platform. Immediately take me back to the junior commander's mansion to go into seclusion, I will not see anyone. After Ning Qing finished this sentence, he directly fell down. Chapter 186. When Nan Yuefang and Yang Honghua quickly sent Ning Qing off, the Pubu Island's dueling Grand Plaza was still very noisy. All the people were talking about the fight between Ning Cheng and Wei Peng, an essence-building cultivator, unexpectedly killed the Pubu Island's first junior marquis Wei Peng on the dueling platform. This was simply an inconceivable thing. The movements caused by the fight between these two people are simply too big. I have seen the murderous imposing manner of Wei Peng's ancient halberd, but what was that terrible explosion all about? It should be because the true essence of the two people was too vigorous, which caused the true essence to surge, or perhaps it was the explosion of the talisman. Humph, ignorant, that was the explosion of an array formation. How could there be an array formation on the dueling platform? Not only was there an array formation, but that junior commander Ning also had a teleportation technique. Before the array formation exploded, he suddenly left the center of the explosion. If this is not teleportation, then what is it? An essence-building cultivator teleported? Is this even possible? Although this junior commander Ning won, but when General Ni comes back, he will be very miserable. What do you know? Is General Kong's temper good? That junior commander Ning is personally promoted by General Kong. There is no such thing as who is afraid of who. If it was a duel between the two generals, then it would be wonderful. Ning Qing left, but the discussions in the dueling Grand Plaza were getting more and more intense. After Ning Qing activated the concealed killing array, there were still some people who saw it. Under the escort of Yang Honghua and Nan Yuefang, Ning Qing returned to the junior commander's mansion. Junior commander, this time many thanks to you. Nan Yuefang finally had the opportunity to say a word of thanks in front of Ning Qing. She had done a lot of things, but the result was that Ning Qing had to help her clean up the mess, causing Ning Qing to be seriously injured. Fortunately, this junior commander Ning's ability was not ordinary, otherwise, Ning Qing would have died because of her. Ning Qing weakly waved his hand and said, "My injuries are very serious, and will now need to go into seclusion to heal. After a month I will come out. when General Kong comes back, you can tell him about the actual situation. Yes, Junior Commander, rest assured, you have already won, General Kong will only support you. Although that Wei Peng is a person of Chang Battle Battalion Commander Ni Gang, but General Kong will not be afraid of him. Yang Honghua said in a loud voice. Before the duel, his heart was on tenterhooks, but after the duel, he felt relieved. Just like how Ning Cheng had killed Wei Peng, if Wei Peng had killed Ning Cheng, then General Kong would not have been able to do anything to Ni Gang. As Ning Cheng went into seclusion, Yang Honghua and Nan Yuefang did not leave, but rather stayed in the Junior Commander Mansion to protect him. Ning Cheng's injuries were not light. If it were any other cultivator, their foundation would have long since been destroyed. However, he was different, his meridians and Zifu were reshaped by the mysterious yellow origin. As long as they were not completely shattered or collapsed, the mysterious yellow origin within the mysterious yellow bead would continuously nourish and repair his meridians and sea of consciousness. A month quickly passed by. After Ning Cheng's injuries were completely healed, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. He estimated that Kong Pengpeng should have already returned, so he did not immediately go out, but rather took out Wei Peng's ring. Wei Peng's storage ring was incomparably huge. Inside it was a pile of all kinds of monstrous beast materials, spirit stones, spiritual grasses, as well as a pile of decent magical artifacts and several spiritual artifacts. The black-silver warship impressively stopped in a corner. As expected, this fellow had the life to snatch, but not the life to enjoy. Ning Cheng grabbed a pile of jade strips from the inside of his ring. Regarding the other things, he also had a lot of them, so it was not strange at all. However, Wei Peng's ancient halberd was truly terrifying. If he had not arranged the chain-killing array in advance, he would absolutely not be able to defeat Wei Peng's ancient battle spirit halberd. It was impossible for him to arrange a chain-killing array before every fight, so he wanted to see if Wei Peng had this kind of battle soul halberd technique. If he really did not have it, then he would think of a way to create an axe technique similar to the battle soul halberd technique. Ning Cheng did not find the battle soul halberd technique, but he found something that he also needed, the halberd array. Wei Peng's ancient halberd was an ancient magical weapon, although it was only a spiritual artifact, but it could be split and reassembled. After the ancient halberd was split, it could be divided into dozens of smaller halberds. These smaller halberds could form all kinds of formations, binding the opponent and easily killing them. When Ning Cheng saw this place, he immediately broke out in cold sweat. He finally understood why Wei Peng's ancient halberd was able to split into so many small halberds. It turned out that this ancient halberd could use an array formation to attack. Unfortunately, Wei Peng did not understand array formations, and was unable to cultivate this kind of halberd array. He could only simply split the smaller halberds to trap Ning Cheng, and did not have any kind of formation to speak of, not to mention arranging an array formation. The small halberds that had not formed into an array formation were already this powerful. Once they formed into an array formation, wouldn't it be several times more powerful than his 36 profound ice spear technique? Wei Peng did not understand array formations, but he understood. His golden great axe was only a top-notch artifact, but in terms of strength, it was not worse than any other spiritual artifact. Even if he could not split the smaller axes, it did not matter, he could still ask someone to refine some of the smaller axes, and then create his own axe array to trap the opponent. This kind of axe array definitely needed the support of a powerful spiritual consciousness. Ning Cheng was somewhat missing the angry axe lotus flower pond. If he could cultivate his spiritual consciousness in the angry axe lotus flower pond for a year, then his spiritual consciousness would definitely improve by several levels. Ning Cheng put away the jade strip, and tidied himself up a bit, before he came out of his seclusion. He estimated that it should be time for him to go to the Law's Way. Junior Commander, are you alright? Yang Honghua, who was standing guard outside, on seeing Ning Cheng come out, immediately called out with joy. I'm fine. Ning Cheng replied, and then looked at Nan Yuefang, who did not speak, but her eyes were a lot more relaxed, and asked, Junior Marquis Nan, have you and Yang Honghua been waiting here? Nan Yuefang gave an N sound and spoke, Second Lieutenant Yang and I, took turns to guard here. General Kong came back, and said that you would come out in a few days, so we all stayed here. That's right, General Kong asked you to go to him after you came out. Yang Honghua quickly spoke from the side. Ning Qing came to an empty place in the Junior Commander Mansion, and took out the black silver warship, and said to Nan Yuefang, Junior Marquis Nan, I have already taken back this black silver warship, you can take it back. Thank you Junior Commander. Nan Yuefang wanted to refuse, but this black silver warship was too attractive to her. Moreover, she also knew that this black silver warship was in the hands of this Junior Commander Ning, it was really a waste. Seeing Nan Yuefang put away the black silver warship, Ning Qing took out his Junior Commander's seal and handed it to Yang Honghua and said, You go and handle the procedures for being promoted to a 3-star senior captain, I will go to General Kong's mansion to have a look. If she had just seen Ning Qing, and saw Ning Qing casually take out his Junior Commander's seal and hand it over to Yang Honghua, Nan Yuefang would have definitely scolded Ning Qing as an idiot. But now she was completely clear about what kind of person this Junior Commander Ning Qing was. People simply did not want to stay here, as such this Junior Commander title was not attractive to him at all. Ning Qing had just arrived at Kong Peng Peng's mansion. When he heard Kong Peng Peng's loud laughter, Ning Qing, you came, quickly come in. 2 pretty maids had already come out, and brought Ning Qing into the living room of Kong Peng Peng's mansion. Kong Peng Peng was sitting in the living room, and there were 2 cups of spiritual tea placed on the table in front of him. A rich aroma of spiritual tea wafted out. When Ning Qing smelled this aroma, he immediately felt his spirit shake. Quickly sit down and drink a cup of spiritual tea. This spiritual tea is something that I had just brought back, it is very good. Kong Peng Peng spoke with incomparable enthusiasm. Ning Qing sat down and pretended to be frightened as he spoke, General Kong, this time you were not on the island, so I ended up causing you a little trouble. Ha, what kind of trouble is this? If that NI gang dared to talk shit with me, then I would have spat at him. You do not have to worry, he would not even be able to touch a single hair of yours. If you ask me, then you would have helped him a bit. Otherwise, if you let that good-for-nothing Wei Peng enter the law's way, then maybe he would have wasted a quota. Kong Peng Peng once again laughed, and in just a few words, he had already let go of Wei Peng's matter. Ning Qing felt relieved in his heart. After he sat down he picked up the spiritual tea and took a sip. A cool and refreshing aura instantly moisturized his whole body. He could not help but say, good tea. I only have this much tea, otherwise I could have given you some. Moreover, the tea that I brought with me is not that good, it is just the tea dregs that people do not want. This kind of complete spiritual tea, even I would not be able to drink it. Kong Peng Peng spoke with some regret. Ning Qing was immediately moved as he asked, what kind of tea is this, why is it so precious? This tea has a name called One Mist, because if you drink a cup of this complete spiritual tea, then it would allow a cultivator to have an epiphany. You would be able to understand something that you have never understood, so this One Mist tea is also called One Enlightenment. Kong Peng Peng spoke with regret. It was obvious that he was not able to get his hands on this complete spiritual tea. Let's not talk about this. If you did not come out today, then I would have called you out tomorrow. The Law's Way is about to open. The day after tomorrow the Pubu Islands ship will be going to the Le continent. We will also be going together. Kong Peng Peng put aside the matter of the spiritual tea and spoke. Ning Qing quickly spoke, please rest assured General, in the Law's Way Ning Qing will definitely go all out. As long as there is the true spiritual nectar wash, I will definitely help the General find it. Kong Peng Peng sighed and said, the true spiritual nectar wash is definitely there, but not everyone who comes out of the Law's Way can obtain this kind of heaven and earth treasure. As long as you put your heart into it, it doesn't matter if you can't find it, being able to come out of the Law's Way is already a great fortune. I do not have anything to give you, but here is a broken core bead. It is something that I condensed when I advanced to the Soul Essence realm. It is equivalent to a full force attack from a Soul Essence first level cultivator. It is for you to have a chance to save your life. Ning Qing was immediately moved. He was very clear about this broken core bead. It was something that was condensed when a profound core cultivator advanced to the Soul Essence realm. When a profound core cultivator advanced to the soul essence realm, they had to break their core, forming the embryonic form of their soul essence. After breaking their core, the violent true essence would then be able to form a broken core bead. Many thanks General Kong. Ning Qing gratefully received the broken core bead, and once again bowed to express his gratitude. An extra broken core bead, for him, it was equivalent to having an extra life. Inside the Law's Way, there were not only profound congealing cultivators, but also profound core cultivators. In case he was stopped by a profound core cultivator, the broken core bead would be the best life-saving method for an essence-building cultivator. Kong Peng Peng stood up and patted Ning Cheng's shoulder. You can kill Wei Peng, it shows that I did not make the wrong choice. You go back and prepare, the day after tomorrow we will board the ship together. Chapter 187. This time for the Law's Way, the cultivator army of the 9 continents was allocated 300 places. Ning Qing thought that these 300 places were already a lot. When he discovered that there were only 20 cultivators from the Pubu Island participating in the Law's Way, only then did he realize that the number of slots was really not that many. He was fancied by Kong Peng Peng, and was even able to obtain a quota. It was really a stroke of luck. There were not many cultivators from the Pubu Island's cultivator army participating in the Lu Continent's Law's Way, but there were still a lot of people who came. After Ning Qing followed Kong Peng Peng to board the ship, he saw at least 500 to 600 people boarding the ship. Every time the Law's Way opens, it is a grand event for the I Xing mainland's 9 continents. In addition to sending you to the Law's Way, I can also go there to get some good things. Kong Peng Peng explained from the side. Younger brother Kong, is this the new junior commander of your Yizheng battalion? He really is not simple. A slightly strange voice came over. Ning Qing saw that it was a bald-headed man, but the true essence circulating around his body was similar to Kong Peng Peng, which made him unable to see it clearly. Just when he was trying to guess who this person was, Kong Peng Peng gave a smile and said, My Yizheng battalion's junior commander can also be considered as helping you out. I don't know what kind of talent did younger brother and I find this time to go to the Law's Way. Ning Qing immediately understood that this person was the Chang Battle Battalion's General Ni Gang. No wonder he had such a fierce look on his face. This is something that brother Kong does not have to worry too much about. Maybe inside the Law's Way, we might even be able to get intimate with each other. Ni Gang said as he glanced at Ning Qing, before he turned around and walked away. Kong Peng Peng cautiously warned Ning Qing, this General Ni is not someone who is easy to deal with. The people arranged by him will definitely find trouble for you inside the Law's Way. You have to be careful inside the Law's Way. Saying that, he looked at the group of people gathered in the distance, before he patted Ning Cheng's shoulder and spoke, I'm going to chat with a few of my old friends, you can go to your room and rest. From here to the Lu continent, it would take at least 2 months. After Kong Peng Peng left, Ning Qing directly went to find his own room. When he entered the room, he could not help but sigh. The treatment of the Pubu Island's cultivator army was really different. He was just an ordinary cultivator participating in the Law's Way, as such he was also allocated a single room. Ning Qing immediately released Grey Toot Toot, and then began to arrange a simple shielding array formation. Although this room had a spiritual consciousness shielding array formation, Ning Qing still preferred to arrange his own shielding array formation. He came to know from Kong Peng Peng's mouth that a lot of people knew that he had killed Wei Peng through an array formation, so now there was no need to conceal the fact that he knew array formations. Ning Qing was very clear that his cultivation was probably one of the lowest on this airship, coupled with the fact that he had a lot of things to do. If there was nothing to do, he would rarely go out, and would just stay in his room to practice alchemy. Only occasionally would he go out to get some fresh air and eat some free spirit fruits in the spirit fruit cabin. As 2 months passed by, Ning Qing finally felt the power of the 9 continents cultivator army. From the Jia continent to the Lu continent was such a long distance away, but he did not feel even half a bit of turbulence in the airship. In other words, along the way, there wasn't even a single demon beast to harass them. Thinking back to the time when he had taken a boat from the Hua continent to the Jia continent, he had only passed through the Lost Mountain Range, and had almost fallen into the Lost Mountain Range because of the monstrous beasts. The airship stopped, and Ning Cheng followed the rest of the cultivators out of the airship, only to discover that the airship had stopped at a huge public square. Ning Cheng had seen the Moze Grand Public Square before, but the Moze Grand Public Square could only occupy a corner of it. In front of the public square, Ning Cheng saw a row of huge golden characters, Dragon and Phoenix 9-Star Academy. Not to mention that this was the entrance of the Dragon and Phoenix 9-Star Academy. Just looking at those huge golden characters for a long time would cause people to feel a kind of excitement and restlessness. The rich spiritual qi in the public square was not any worse than that in Kong Peng Peng's general's mansion. Ning Cheng secretly praised them in his heart. It really was a 9-star academy. This kind of rich and overbearing imposing manner made people feel a kind of subdued feeling. Kong Peng Peng came over and said to Ning Cheng, "The cultivators of the 9 continents who are going to the Law's Way will gather here in a month. During this 1 month, you can do whatever you want. But you must pay attention to your own safety in words and deeds. This place is not like the Pubu Island. There are some things that I cannot help you with." Saying that as if he was afraid that Ning Cheng would worry, he added another sentence. "The Dragon and Phoenix 9-Star Academy is one of the 3 major academies of the Lu continent, as such ordinary people would not dare to cause trouble here. You have the Jade card to participate in the Law's Way, as such you can freely enter and exit the Dragon and Phoenix Academy. Even if you want to live in the Dragon and Phoenix Academy, it is also up to you." "I understand, General Kong, you can take care of your own matters." Ning Cheng quickly spoke up. He had thought that after the cultivators of the Pubu Island came here, they would definitely be arranged for a unified accommodation. He did not expect that they would be in a free and unorganized state. But thinking about it, if a cultivator who came to participate in the Law's Way died before even entering the Law's Way, then he would not be qualified to go to the Law's Way. Kong Peng Peng was very relieved about Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng's performance on the airship had already shown that he was not a person who liked to cause trouble. Kong Peng Peng and the group of Soul Essence cultivators of the Pubu Island soon left. The Pubu Island's airship, after sending Ning Cheng and the others, also quickly left. As for the cultivators of the Pubu Island who came to participate in the Law's Way, or to see the cultivators of the Lu continent, they immediately dispersed in excitement. Although the Pubu Island was only the encampment of the Jia continent's cultivator army, but the cultivators who came out of it all had a valiant aura, and were not low-key just because they came from an intermediate-class continent. Ning Cheng had not joined the Pubu Island for a long time, plus he was not interested in staying in the barracks. As such, he did not know any of the cultivator officers here. As for the cultivator officers who came to participate in the Law's Way, none of them did not have a backer. Moreover, none of them came to fawn on Ning Cheng, who was a junior commander of the Essence Building realm. After the rest of the people left, Ning Cheng intended to go to the Dragon and Phoenix Academy to have a look. Speaking of which, he still had an acquaintance in the Dragon and Phoenix Academy, although he was not a friend, but also not an enemy. That was Cui Nye Ping, who he had a fight with in the Angry Axe Valley. Ning Cheng, of course, was not looking for Cui Nye Ping. He wanted to take a look at the difference between a 9-star academy and an ordinary academy. The closer he got to the entrance of the 9-star academy, Ning Cheng could feel the rich spiritual qi. Ning Cheng knew that there was definitely a huge spiritual gathering array arranged here. But the array formations surrounding the Dragon and Phoenix 9-star academy, Ning Cheng could not even perceive them with his perception, not to mention looking at these array formations. Groups of 3 to 5 cultivators passed through Ning Cheng and entered the entrance of the academy. Ning Cheng could clearly feel a trace of bloody and murderous aura coming from these people. These people were able to enter the Dragon and Phoenix Academy. They were definitely the disciples of the academy, but these people had this kind of bloody and murderous aura coming from them. It was obvious that they had come back from the outside to gain experience. This 9-star academy was really different from the ordinary small academies. Ning Cheng remembered that Ruemu Danchin was protected as a core disciple in the God Wind Academy, while the disciples here were all out gaining experience. Ning Qing casually swept out with his spiritual consciousness. Most of these people's cultivations were around the essence-building realm, only a few of them were in the true condensation realm, and some of them even had the cultivation of profound congealing realm. This senior apprentice brother, do you know the residence of Jia Lingwei from the Dragon and Phoenix Academy? An inquiring voice interrupted Ning Cheng's observation. Ning Cheng looked at the girl in front of him. Her baby face had not yet fully matured, with long eyelashes and a pair of big eyes. She looked extremely cute. But what made Ning Cheng shocked was that this girl who looked so young was actually a profound congealing first-level cultivator. Moreover, there was no other person beside her. Seeing Ning Cheng sizing her up, this girl gave a sweet smile and said, I am Zhang Sun Yan from the Feng Province's Wuyun Academy, and am a friend of elder sister Ling Wei. This time I came to participate in the law's way, especially to see elder sister Ling Wei. Can I trouble you to take me to find elder sister Ling Wei? Ning Cheng looked at the girl in front of him who was even younger than Ruemu Danqin, and spoke with some uncertainty. You are so young, and you want to participate in the law's way? This senior apprentice brother, I am not young. If senior apprentice brother does not have the time, then just tell me the residence of elder sister Ling Wei. I will go and find her myself. Zhang Sun Yan's tone was still very sweet, and seemed to be very cultured. Ning Qing spoke in a very apologetic manner. I am really sorry, this is also my first time coming to the Dragon and Phoenix Academy, as such I do not know elder sister Ling Wei. Yan, why did you come here alone? Another surprised voice arrived. Ning Cheng had already seen 3 women coming over. When he saw the purple-robed woman with a veil over her face walking in the middle, he almost turned around and ran away. This woman with a veil over her face was the one he had saved from the Wu Yan Academy. Being seen by this woman, how could he have any good fruit to eat? This woman simply would not listen to his explanation. Chapter 188. Jia Lingwei did not know about the relationship between Ning Cheng and Zhang Sun Yan, but when she arrived, Ning Cheng seemed to be talking to Zhang Sun Yan. Since they were talking, it meant that they knew each other. Therefore, from the point of politeness, it was only right for him to invite Ning Cheng. Does junior apprentice brother Ning also know of Master Shu? Jia Lingwei asked in a puzzled manner, although she addressed Miao Shu as Martial Ant, but this Martial Ant Miao's qualifications in the Dragon and Phoenix Academy was actually very old. It was only because she did not like to show her face and did not care about the affairs of the world that she had always been Uncle Master. Ning Qing quickly spoke up, if junior apprentice sister Zhang Sun wants to hear about the war with the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army, then I can certainly tell you about it in detail. But before that, I have to explain to this senior sister Rushua the reason for the previous matter. The woman who was addressed as elder sister Lingwei by Zhang Sun Yan was very generous towards Ning Cheng as she spoke with a smile. My name is Jia Lingwei, you and Yan know each other, and are also my friends. If you do not mind, would you like to come with us to my place to sit down? Rushua, what's the matter? The woman in the red dress, who was walking at the back, noticed that something was wrong and immediately asked. Even if he wanted to check her injuries and help her heal, he could have done it anywhere else. Why did he have to do it on her chest? Other than Ning Cheng being a shameless person who bullied the dark room, she really could not find a good explanation for it. Nalan Rushua frowned slightly. She had a hunch that Ning Cheng seemed to have a very special method to deal with little girls. For example, the Wu Yan Academy's Ruemu Danqin and Yuing, both of them worshipped Ning Cheng, to the point that one could even say that they were dependent on him. There was also this Zhang Sun Yan in front of him. Could it be that this had something to do with his cultivation technique? Thinking of this, Nalan Rushua's spiritual consciousness began to sweep over Ning Cheng's body. It's you. When the purple-robed woman saw Ning Cheng, her eyes immediately turned into a circle of raging flames. Saying that, the purple-robed woman looked at Ning Cheng and spoke, what are you waiting for? Since we're acquaintances, I'll help you today. Come in with me. Senior apprentice sister Rushua, I had also heard others say bad things about big brother Ning, and had misunderstood him. But after being together with him, I came to understand that he really is not the kind of person that other people say. Please believe in big brother Ning. At that time, perhaps it was because of some other reason that you misunderstood Big Brother Ning. Ning Cheng was just about to refuse, when Yuan clapped her hands and said, "That's good, I also wanted to hear Senior Apprentice Brother Ning talk about the battles between the cultivator armies. After coming out of the law's way, I also intend to go to the cultivator army to have a look." Miao Shu. Ning Cheng spoke out in surprise. Ning Cheng did not wait for this purple-robed woman called Rushua to speak, as he took the initiative to cup his fists and spoke. Jia Continent's cultivator army. Ning Cheng greets several senior apprentice sisters. It could be seen that when this purple-robed woman stayed in the true condensation realm in the Angry Axe Valley, it was not because she could not advance, but rather because she was accumulating her heritage. The imposing manner of a large academy was indeed different. When it came time for him to advance, he could not wait to advance to the essence-building realm in the next moment, so where would he even have the mood to wait? Senior apprentice sister Lingwei, I heard that your master is the most beautiful female cultivator in the Dragon and Phoenix Academy, is that true? Is she as beautiful as you? Zhang Sun Yan, on hearing the red-robed woman speak about Jia Lingwei's master, immediately started gossiping. But if he left now, it would make him look even more guilty. Ning Cheng was secretly lamenting his bad luck, but at the same time, he was also lamenting about how good it was to have a large academy. When he first saw this purple-robed woman, she was only at the great circle of the true condensation realm. But now she was already at the essence-building 5th level, which was a level higher than him, and it had only been a year or so. This purple-robed woman's cultivation was a bit higher than his. Ning Cheng was afraid that she would immediately call out that perverted Taoist priestess of hers as her master. Calling her senior apprentice sister would not make him lose a piece of meat. If he drew out her master, then he would not have a second blood-escaping talisman. He first reported his identity as a cultivator army member. Generally in the 9 continents, the cultivator army would have a certain level of security. If there was no special reason, then ordinary cultivators would simply not be willing to offend the cultivator army. Yu Ying's words kept reverberating in her mind, making her unable to understand Yu Ying's thoughts. Although Yu Ying had made rapid progress in the Wu Nian Academy, but she was a quiet and rational person, moreover her mind was also very mature. It seemed that she had a different kind of familial feeling towards Ning Cheng. As a girl like her, it was reasonable to say that she should not lie. But she was completely unable to explain as to why Ning Cheng put his hand on her chest. Ning Cheng certainly did not know that the purple-robed woman was tangled in her heart. For Ning Cheng, she had specifically asked Yu Ying about it. Although she did not directly say that Ning Cheng had touched her chest, but vaguely said that Ning Cheng wanted to make a move on her. When the several women heard Ning Cheng say that he was a cultivator army member, they immediately revealed a puzzled look, but Zhang Sun Yan excitedly called out, "Senior apprentice brother Ning Cheng, you are a cultivator army. Have you ever fought against the Yixing Ocean's cultivator army? Isn't it fun to fight a lot of people together? I heard that there are also spirit stone cannons, which are incomparably powerful. Have you ever seen those things?" Jia Lingwei spoke in a soft tone, with a hint of mature charm, coupled with her delicate and pretty appearance. It made people who heard it feel extremely comfortable. Jia Lingwei's words were not finished, when the purple-robed woman spoke. "Senior apprentice sister Lingwei, why don't I take junior apprentice brother Ning with me? The place where Master Shu lives, the last time you pointed it out to me, I remember it." This, you don't know. He was not so senseless as to casually talk about this kind of thing. However, Ning Cheng found it very strange. This purple-robed woman's temper should not be this good. According to the standards of the last time when she was angry, she would have attacked him the first time she saw him, and would not be talking to him until now. Moreover, this Jia Lingwei's cultivation was not low, with the cultivation of profound congealing 7th level, which far exceeded Ning Cheng's. Senior apprentice sister Rushua, you must have misunderstood Big Brother Ning. Big Brother Ning is not that kind of person. I and Big Brother Ning have lived in the same house for a year, as such I am very clear about what kind of person he is. If he was such a person, then I would have already been. Ning Cheng thought to himself, this gossip really had nothing to do with a woman's age. Now that the purple-robed woman was not looking for him, he was already very satisfied, as such he did not have even half a shred of interest in the gossip of these women. Just as he was about to say his goodbyes, he suddenly heard Jia Lingwei speak, "I am so ugly, how can I be compared to my master? But the most beautiful person in the Dragon and Phoenix Academy is not my master, but rather Uncle Master Miao Shu." "You want to see Master Shu?" Jia Lingwei repeated the sentence in disbelief. "Thank you for leading the way. I would like to ask junior apprentice brother Zhang Shua, as well as junior apprentice sister Dan Qin and Yu Ying, are they doing well in the Wunyan Academy?" Ning Cheng was still somewhat worried about these three people. His relationship with Yong Guyun was not very good, as such he also had some doubts about Yong Guyun's words. Seeing Ning Cheng following Nalan Rushue away, the red-robed woman spoke in a puzzled voice, "Rushue, and this Ning Cheng, do you have a big enmity? Why do you want to take him to see Master Shu? If you do not bring your master here, I promise that I will not speak a single word of nonsense. Even if you are ungrateful, I will not pursue it, as we have never seen each other and do not know each other." Ning Cheng knew why this purple-robed woman did not want him to speak. She was definitely afraid that he would not be able to control his mouth, and would casually speak nonsense. Ning Cheng spoke with certainty, "Yes, is there any problem? If Master Shu does not want to see me, then it does not matter, as long as I ask senior apprentice sister Lingwei to help me show the way." The purple-robed woman chuckled, "Senior apprentice sister Lingwei, there is no but. I and Ning Cheng are very familiar with each other, you can rest assured, I will bring him to Master Shu's place, and will immediately come to you. They are very good, and are now people of my Wunyan Academy, you do not need to worry about them." The purple-robed woman replied in a cold tone. When Ning Cheng heard the name Miao Shu, he immediately remembered. He had met the fallen Lan Yuchen in the Angry Axe Valley, and Miao Shu was precisely Lan Yuchen's wife. His golden great axe was also Lan Yuchen's. Now that he knew about Miao Shu, he felt that he needed to go and take a look. The rest of the women were more intelligent, and had already seen that there was something wrong between Ning Cheng and Nalan Rushue. "Elder sister Lingwei." Zhang Sun Yen immediately rushed forward with joy, and hugged the woman who was walking in the front. "You dare to talk nonsense, I will immediately turn you into minced meat." The purple-robed woman hatefully interrupted Ning Cheng's words. After Ning Cheng got this answer, he immediately no longer spoke. Jia Lingwei looked at the purple-robed woman with a strange expression, and only spoke after a good while, but, seeing the purple-robed woman enter first, although Ning Cheng felt that something was wrong, but he quickly cupped his fists towards Jia Lingwei and the other two and said, "Several senior apprentice sisters, we will meet again someday, I will be taking my leave first." The words of the red-robed woman, Ning Cheng certainly could not hear them, as he followed behind the purple-robed woman, and did not say anything about touching her chest. Since the other party did not intend to pursue this matter, he also did not want to get involved in it. He and this purple-robed woman were originally two different people, as such he had never expected the other party to be grateful to him. Ning Cheng was very unhappy in his heart. No matter who it was that had their spiritual consciousness swept over their body, they would not feel happy in their heart. Unfortunately, he really could not afford to offend this Nalan Rushue, or rather he could not afford to offend the old Taoist priestess behind Nalan Rushue. The red-robed woman who had only asked Nalan Rushue a single question, was able to see that there was something wrong with it, and quickly spoke up, "Junior apprentice brother Ning is a friend of Yan Yan, it would certainly be good if we could go together. But I am afraid that once Master Lan sees it, she would not be happy in her heart." Big brother Ning said that sometimes what you see with your own eyes is not necessarily the truth. I did not understand this truth before, it was only after Big brother Ning told me, that I came to know. Ning Cheng quickly said, "That's right, I came here specifically to look for Master Shu. But I have been wandering around the entrance of the Dragon and Phoenix Academy for a long time, and do not know where Master Shu lives. I don't know if senior apprentice sister Lingwei can take me there." If this Miao Shu from the Dragon and Phoenix Academy was really Lan Yuchen's wife, then he would return the golden great axe to the other party. He had almost prepared all the materials, and could also find someone in the Dragon and Phoenix City to refine a new axe. If the other party was not the Miao Shu that he was looking for, then he would express his apologies and then leave. However, because of Yu Ying's words, she did not immediately start a fight with Ning Cheng. Even if this purple-robed woman came up with some tricks, he was not afraid. An essence-building 5th level, even if it was an essence-building 5th level cultivator from the Wu Nian Academy, he would not be afraid. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.